Alrighty. Bro, I think I should kind of go prod, actually. I think I kind of should. I wonder, will I be able to tank as boostified warrior guy? I bet. Bet I could. As a boostified warrior guy, I bet I could. If I had to. Why are his keybinds weird? Oh, some of it's bartender, huh? Is it? This is not it. Get bartender out of here. Why I turned it off? I want to use all the same add-ons as my other guy. Huh. I don't need Bagnon anymore either. This is weird. This is weird. What's the DARKSPEAR warrior? So DARKSPEAR is like the server I was on originally. There we go. So I'm thinking about making an alt, just for fun. Just for fun. What I might do on this character? Wait a minute. Why are the keybinds different? Whatever. I think a Zandalari troll warrior would be okay. I mean, it's not. You pretty much got to be gnome. Like, I'm gonna probably have to make this guy go gnome too. No, no, I'm not. I mean, I am annoyed being a gnome, but like, this is not the solution to that. I'm gonna have to go gnome on this guy too. There we go. Cool. New character? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna level this guy up a little bit. So it didn't give me a shield for prot. That's weird. Just give me another weapon. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of only be a gnome, yeah. Oh well. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I kind of wanted to play pro so I could do dungeons, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah, you could still play the short rally. How you gonna level up? I don't know. Maybe dungeons? Maybe fire up the Zygor guide and go level through some like Dragon Isle or something like that? I don't know. I'm just gonna mess around a little bit, and then we do have announcements today for Path of Exile. So that should be fun too. But next week you can have a character and they can pretty much have like everything right off the bat, so. Do I need to race change this guy to gnome already? I mean, I kind of do, but maybe not yet. Maybe not yet, huh? But I will set this dude up a little bit. Just because I kind of want to, I think. I kind of want to. It'll be convenient. Because, again, we're going to mess around on here a little bit. But relatively soon, we're gonna probably go check out the Path of Exile announcements. But I've been thinking about doing this. And today feels like a fine day to do it. My main warrior has been doing great. He's been pumping. What? That's a weird macro. That's nice that these are still there. That's cool. That's super convenient, actually. This is odd. Like, what is that doing there? You guys can't see these macros. It's okay, though. So left is a weak aura, and then right is big debuffs. That's what you're looking at there. Alrighty. I love your Colossus Slayer advice. Colossus is kind of, you know, but Slayer is, yeah. Wait, did I really say that? Was that my actual advice? Really? That's funny. No, I like Colossus. I think Slayer is probably fine. Oh, I don't want that. I haven't played as much Slayer, so I don't feel like I have as much of a. Wait, when did I answer that question? Was it in my guide or something? Making some blitz gains. Good job, man. Some blitz related gains. Good. Good. Was it short? Was it really? Oh my gosh. Those late night streams, man, they get you sometimes, bro. They get you sometimes. That is funny, though. Sounds like something I would say. For sure. That's funny. Hype for the PoE 2 announcement? Yeah, man. If I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, I was about to take a nap today. Like, that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, it's almost nap time. But we'll pull it together. We'll pull it together. This isn't even a good macro for this. Put that there. Do some pull-ups will wake you up. I just worked out for 2 hours. Well, not 2 hours, an hour and a half. We put in some work today. But, yeah. Yeah. Ooh-wee. Cleave? I probably actually do need cleave for dungeons, don't I? I'm not doing that. If I end up doing dungeons on this guy, I'll do it as prot. Something like that. We'll just do it as prot. What? Oh. I just need something up here, yeah. A little bit of a leech probably wouldn't be so bad for leveling. mean, that's probably fine, but I don't want to put that there. Where does this usually go? Like over here somewhere? I gotta move some kind of utility thing out though. Oh no, I like big shockwave all the time. Remember when the skeleton looked cool? You don't like the way this one looks? I know, PoE 2 indeed, yeah. You've been healing in Blitz? Yeah, that's good, man. That'll get the Qs going for sure. That'll get them going. All right. I like the way the talents work right now. Yeah, we are a bit zonkered today, boys, but it's okay. What happened to this keybind? What happened there? Oh. No. Huh. There we go. Okie dokie. Do I like the swapper? I feel like for arms, I actually kind of like to have separate binds. We could just do this one though. This is kind of easy. What is this? I feel like some of my macros are the same and some of them are not. It's odd. Okay. I don't remember which one I use over here. It might be this one. That's chill. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. This is kinda no. This is modern WoW. I'm just messing around. I'm gonna make myself a little alt character real quick because I'm not really doing anything else today. Just kind of messing around a bit. I didn't notice that the page came up like that before. That's cool. Put that there. Let's see. Put that there, and I guess we were doing different stuff here, weren't we? We used to... Yeah, maybe I should just do this. There are people who are doing crafting on DARKSPEAR. That's good. I was a bit concerned that there wouldn't be crafters, but it does appear that they are, so that's good. That's very good. What else do we need? I want to put a point in this just so that it works. The macro works. I don't play those talents very frequently, but just in case. I think it'd be the most fun. Feral Druid or Rogue for BGs. You know, they might have a similar job, but I feel like rogues do all kinds of crazy stuff. And even though like I'm not good at rogue, I've played rogue, and it is kind of fun. It's pretty goofy, but pretty fun. All right. Slowly putting together. Okay, so I don't have Demolish yet, so I don't have a keybind for that. We're gonna want one for Rally, though. That's good. Some DKs are dunking on you. Do you know if the new PoE class comes out today? And so no content is being added today, but they will be announcing stuff today. So that'll be fun. That will be cool. But yeah, they're not, so no new stuff will be out today. It's the same thing, okay. What's up, Julian? Good to see you, dude. Thank you so much, man. Welcome back, dude. Big flex of the 18 months. Pumping us up, man. Yeah, we're just getting our day started. About to kind of start chipping away on making this alt. There's that. Chipping away on this one. So we get this thing going. Let's see, anything we want to put on here? Not that. Put this somewhere too. Let's get the Veens on here. We're gonna need this for when we go gnome. We'll put our gnome racial on there. Yeah, that's funny though. Those DKs ripping you up, huh? It can happen, bro. It can happen. Which one is this? Gotcha. Yeah, not worried about Skull Splitter right now. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I might want to go prot, though. Tier sub badge, bonus badge, kind of tough. Looks good. Looks good. PoE stream is in like 30 minutes, I think. So, I'm just taking a moment to set up my character a little bit. I think I will start working on this alt. The keyboard thingy that he uses? I don't think so. Like the little like gamepad thing? No, I've never used one of those. Yeah. 30. Who's what now? 35k people just waiting for PoE 2 announcements. Is that what you're saying? 35k people just. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Indeed. It's in a bit. It's in a bit. We'll keep our eye on that one. When it's time, we'll fire it up. Thank you, Undertow, for the Prime Man. Big flex for the 2 months. I think they got drops and stuff for that too. That'll be fun. All right. Okay. Anything else we want to put on this bar? Nothing in particular. This is gnome racial. This is demolish. This is okay. We can put something on there. Most def. All right. So that'll do for arms. I need a shield. If only I had some gold on this character. Think I could buy like a green shield? If only I had some gold on this guy, man. Sheesh. Another extremely important thing I gotta do is I gotta go learn skinning on this dude. Oh my gosh, we are gonna have so much skinning to catch up on this guy. It's gonna be miserable. Think of his skinning skills. What is this? What's the quest here? What is this? Oh, it's Hearthstone or Warcraft Rumble. It's actually pretty fun. How you doing now, DK? Is skinning good to farm? I like it. Skinning's my preference. So, are we gonna fire up the Zygor guide and level through Dragon Isles? What do you guys think? Might have to do it. Can you farm 4 million? No. Farmed a bit, but I don't think 4 million. This character's just had that gold. This is an OG character right here. Been around. I think I like Colossus more right now, but I haven't really played as much Slayer. This guy won't have that at all. Dragon Isles is fast good, especially with Zygor, I bet it is. Alright, I'll be back real quick. BRB. Yeah, we might have to level him up a little bit. This is not the OG warrior is the guy I usually play, but we're gonna put this guy in DARKSPEAR. I like this character, one, because it's on DARKSPEAR, and two, he has the name Bajheera, which is pretty cool. I like that. You can tank on it all if you're doing dungeon level, nice. You know what I'm wondering though? How long do you think it would take to get to level 7, from level 77 to 80? Because Bajheera is level 77, and I could get another 5% XP gains up to level 80 if we got her leveled up real quick. I wonder. I bet her keybinds are all jacked up though. Oh no, she's probably a bartender user. A filthy bartender user. Oh no. She sure is. I wonder what happens if we do this. So she's, I don't know. So if we leveled Queequeg, we would both have Queequeg leveled and have 5% extra XP. Just not sure I'm in the mood for that right now. Why, dude? Why'd you do that? Oh. What's one big change I'd like to see come to the Warriors today in PoE? What the what is going on? Oh. There we go. That'll do. I don't know, man. Attack speed. Action speed. Another weapon. That'd be nice. We'll see. If we got Queequeg leveled up, though, that'd be nice. Why does it keep doing that? I didn't think diminish even worked. Whatever. Yeah, you're talking about warriors in PoE, right? Yeah. Yeah. So she's almost there. I don't think it's that big of a deal. She'll just get there when she gets there, huh? She'll just get there when she gets there. Hello? Any PC you get from Origin PC will be good enough to run WoW. But you probably don't need an insane GPU and processor to play WoW, I don't think.
Here is the hero I spoke of.
Pleased to meet you. Spotted some promising crew members as I was flying over the city. Round them up and let's get to it.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right. Am I in Chromie time? Am I in Chromie time? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I am. Leave Chromie time. WTF. Yo, sorry, bro. My bad. I didn't know I was in Chromie time, dude. Dragonflight. Is that right? Uh-oh. I'm confused. What's this? Yeah, you can just level. Oh, Earthen can level. Oh. Interesting. How about now? That's kind of what I was already doing though, right? Now, do I need to leave Chromie time or it be in Chromie time? I don't know. Why they're trying to Darkspear? Because this character is named Bajheera, and I kind of want to level the Darkspear character. I get very low ping on this server too, which is cool. I don't know.
Expedition to the Dragon Isles. Sounds fun.
There we go. Oh, leveling with Zygor is so nice. Oh my goodness.
Wrap it up, trainees. We're moving out.
This is so nice. Ah, beautiful. That place like home, yeah. The quest I was doing skips this. Oh. I think it was asking me to do the same thing though. From what I can tell.
Is there something you wish to discuss?
Oh, Zygor makes this so nice. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. I mean, I got XP from doing the quest, so I'm not sure.
Welcome to the Dragon Isles, explorers.
Probably not the worst thing in the world, huh?
Hell, what the wind blew in.
This is nice doing the Dragon Isles thing. I remember this. Dude, the beginning of Dragonflight was so fun. Insane streams during that one. Thanks, Icarus. Yeah, come on and hang out, man. I'm just gonna goof around a little bit. Gonna goof around. Oh, wait. When can I learn skinning? I don't need to be skinning at this point though, do I? No, we do not. I think I have old flying mode right now, which is fine. I'm in a pretty chill mood today. I was about to take a nap, but I was like, nah, let's get on. Let's see what's happening. Plus, I want to see the PoE stuff. You guys get drops too. I think I'm crazy strong right now, and then we'll get weaker. Gotta rescue these dudes though too. Bro, do I need to start working cleave into my rotation for PvE? For leveling? Yeah, PoE live stream is in like 16 minutes. So we'll be watching that too. We have a ton of crit. Interesting. But he's pinned down over here. Got your bag, dog. But yeah, if I leveled Quiqui, I would be getting 5% more XP. But I think I'd rather just put the time into this guy. Warrior is fun and good right now. And if I get this character leveled, then like next week, he can be like almost fully geared, and my main is actually gonna have to wait a little while because I kind of spent my points in a not optimal way. So this guy in 1 week can probably get better geared than my main. But the only thing about my main is I may want to do like just some PvP on him to get honor, so I can send this guy like a full set of honor gear. PoE 2 dead though? Yeah, I don't think so. Action RPGs, like PoE, especially like early access, people usually will play it when there's content. They'll play through the content and then they'll kind of chill and wait for new content. So the game is something that you play and then take a break from and then come back to and then take a break from. Just kind of how it works. There we go. But nah. Don't worry. I mean, if you're interested in PoE, then don't be turned off by the fact that there aren't people playing it constantly. But if you're just kind of like trying to be silly, then yeah, okay. No worries. Remember, PoE 2 isn't even out yet, right? Where should we go? Should we go to the Onaran Plains? What's a fun... I like the Onaran Plains. I don't even know if we're gonna need 2 zones. We can start the Waking Shores, though. We're here.
Do you need my help?
We can start here. There we go. Let's do it, Zygor. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Easier to see what I need to click on. I don't even make it out of the zone until I'm 70. Oh, we should have gone to Onaran Plains. Onaran Plains is my favorite. Nice. All good. Yeah. PoE be popping off, yeah. I'm definitely interested in playing more of that. I like that game. You don't even think we'll do 1 zone before level 70? I wonder if I can pick Onaran Plains and go there then. Onaran is lovely. I thought DARKSPEAR was a new warrior ascendancy. Oh, okay. What are you doing here? Send that bad boy. Watch the dialogue. Okay.
But I suppose this is
I see.
a type of emergency.
Thanks, Red.
There. Major Domo Solistro will arrive soon.
Look at all these people leveling and stuff.
Does the Major Domo personally respond to every call for
That's
help?
cool.
Oh, yes.
This one has a lot of RP.
Times of trouble. There is no one Queen Alexstrasza trusts more.
Here they come.
I'm about to go to the Onaran Plains, bro.
Incredible.
These guys are... This RP is taking too long.
Ah, look who we have here.
Thanks, Ross.
We saw the flare and assumed the worst. What is wrong, Cadet Sendrax?
Major Domo.
I gotta go.
New arrivals were wondering where you were, and I thought...
Well...
I see. There was a reason for our absence.
It'll take a minute to fly over there, but it'll probably be worth.
Have stirred to violence once again.
It'll take a second, but I like the Onaran Plains. That's my homeland. I feel like that RP is gonna take a little too long. What's the plan today? I'm just gonna mess around in this, and then we're gonna watch the PoE live stream here in a minute. Maybe I'll level up while we're watching that. Let's see. But yeah, we're chilling hard today. Today was like I was almost about to take a nap. But we'll do this. I think this zone is kind of fine to level in. I'm gonna leave though. I'm gonna come back over here. I like the plains. A nap? Getting old like me. I mean, I could take a nap any old time, bro. I could take a nap any old time. But, yeah, not right now. I got stuff to do. Got stuff to do. How long ago nap? 0 hours. I didn't take a nap. 0 hours. Said I could, not that I did. Alrighty. Hopefully there's not as much talking.
Aspects have returned. Guard against take this life strewn with you. As a sign of good faith to
No
the
more yapping.
its healing qualities will serve them well.
Let's go do some stuff. Let's hammer the story and see how it goes. What's this? Bring him down.
Even a young hunter can aid in a proto-drake hunt. Let us see.
Bring him down. Boom. But it'll be fun to have another character to get going. Again, he'll be like almost better gear than my guy. We could try to catch him up to the other guy's ratings if we wanted to. Is this better? Oh my gosh, it is gonna be an upgrade. What the heck? Oh my gosh, we're gonna be getting some upgrades. Making some gains. Love the stream on my stream. Yes. Why doing Dragonflight quest? To level up my character. In Zygor we trust, bro. Leveling up my new guy. Got another warrior coming up. Oh wait, was this a one-hander? I'm trolling. I'm trolling. I saw better stats and I was like, oh, that's the one. Hopefully we get another chance at it. Yeah, I see that now. Whoops. And 600, thanks for the prime, man. Big flicks for you, pumping us up. Thank you, dude. Hey, man. Primers are very much appreciated, but you do got to remember to swing by and hit us with it. All good though, man. Welcome back and thank you, dude. I think everybody's leveling up, dude. We're getting them characters going. DARKSPEAR was my main server. The character that I played, who was on DARKSPEAR, is my main still. He just lives on Sargeras now. This is just also a character named Bajheera on DARKSPEAR. So we're getting them going.
I bet we can outhunt you. I will outhunt both of you.
We're getting them going. We do have warriors on Tychondrius and Sargeras already, but I don't know, just kind of in the mood to get this guy going. Did the level cap go up? Yeah, it's 80. This is a new character. He is below the level cap. We're not leveling because the level cap went up, if that's what you're asking. What am I grabbing here? Oh. There we go, man. I'd be so lost without Zygor. Do I get to have like a well-fed buff? Oh my gosh, 10% less damage taken from all sources. Is that here all the time? What the heck? That is OP. What's this? Feral Bloom Pods. Okay. Need those too. Yeah, here in a minute. All right, we can probably pull up the PoE stream, listen to it. I kind of want to keep leveling though. At the same time, I got to figure out how to make this work then. This might not work, but we'll see. This might not work the way I want it to. We might have to take a break and watch this separately. Not the worst thing in the world, but whatever. Subs for Cal. So if I want to capture the actual like screen, I'm gonna have to do it this way. Here we go. Let me get in the Path of Exile section. Oh, thank you, Kodak. Let me hop in PoE so that you guys can get your drops too. I think you guys get drops on here, right? What are we hoping for? What are we hoping for?
I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Welcome to GGG Live. Well, it's been a little over 3 months since we launched Early Access.
Audio
so
good
it's
there?
about time for our first major content update. Today, we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, which launches on April 4th.
Dawn of the Hunt,
Twitch
April
drops
4th.
are
All right.
enabled on today's live stream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Executioner's Guillotine finisher effect. Now, in today's stream, we're going to take you on a deep dive into the new Dawn of the Hunt update.
Let's see what we got.
We'll cover a new class, 5
You
new
guys
ascendancy
want it to be like this?
and
You guys can
huge
see the whole
expansions
thing?
on character systems like unique items and support gems. After that, it's on to the in-game improvements, including changes to systems, a bunch of new encounters, and lots of other content. We're going to finish up today with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile 2's game directors, myself and Mark, your questions from Twitch chat.
I'm
And we
liking
have a
what I'm
lot to
seeing
cover
out of that.
today, so let's get started with a trailer for Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt.
I'm liking the
We
new
as Mary
ascendancies.
are guided by the spirit. It provides prey, shelter, even love. But for me, one day, all that were changed. The spirit, it showed me something.
Be the Huntress.
Something forbidden. And to defend all I loved, I used it. I lost everything that day. But fate weren't finished with me yet.
Uh-oh.
I'll right the wrongs I've done. I'll do what I must. No matter the cost.
Shouldn't be letting her get close to a stick,
will
bro.
hear the spirit once more.
Not to be around pointy sticks. She got a little shield. Huh. That's crazy. Okay. Are they all spear related though?
Don't make me kill you.
Rogue Exiles.
I shall
That's sick.
bathe your blood.
Nice. 100 new support gems. 100 uniques. My warrior ascension. Okay. Great. Wow. They've been working. They've been working. Okay. They've been cooking. Oh, 12 p.m. PDT? Oh, nice. It's not at,
As you can
5
see,
p.m.
in
That's
Dawn
so
of the Hunt,
nice.
we're introducing the first new
Great.
class since early access to PoE 2.
Great.
The Huntress. The Huntress is a spear-wielding Asmeri warrior. Born into a society with strict traditions, she was exiled from her homeland after using the power of a skill gem to defend her village. As a dexterous spear user, she specializes in both melee and ranged combat, dashing into and out of battle. Spears have extended range and a short dash, but unlike other melee weapons, you can also throw them.
Okay.
In order to make a hybrid ranged and melee character work, we had to do a lot of thinking about ways to make it fun to both enter and exit melee range. The first skill you will get as a
Interesting.
Huntress is Whirling Slash. As well as striking in a circle around you, this skill creates a whirlwind that blinds your enemies. Leaving the whirlwind will make it explode. The more Whirling Slash is used, the bigger the whirlwind, and the bigger the explosion.
Cool.
Once you're out of there, you'll want to follow up with something ranged. Whip your spear around to shoot twisters towards your foes. These twisters bounce off walls and can hit enemies multiple times.
Okay. They
You can
blind
also
too.
throw twisters inside a whirlwind to shoot out extra tornadoes that do way more damage.
Whoa.
In her
Okay.
offhand, the Huntress will usually want to hold a buckler, which allows you to do a new skill, parry. While holding down parry, your character will counterattack any incoming attack from monsters near you, stunning them. In addition, the monsters will take extra attack damage from your follow-up strike.
That's pretty crazy.
Some specific skills are designed to be used after a parry and have extra
But you just hold it
effects.
down and if they attack into it,
Disengage
they get
is a skill
parried.
that does a quick jump back, damaging enemies in front of you, and it can be used to interrupt other actions, like dodge roll.
Huh.
If you use it against a parried enemy, though, it causes an explosion and gives you a frenzy charge.
Wow.
Just be careful. If you parry too much, you're
Yeah.
going to get stunned and possibly killed. You can combine this combo with Whirling Slash. Slash, parry, disengage, and you'll get an explosion from the disengage and the Whirling Slash.
That's
The
pretty
Huntress
cool.
also has a variety of elemental spear throw attacks. You could use Lightning Spear to bounce lightning between your foes.
This
Or
is
you
looking
can throw
pretty cool.
explosive spears into the ground. These spears
I
take
still
a
wanna
while
play Warrior,
detonate,
but this
when
does
they
look
do,
neat.
They'll incinerate anyone caught in the blast.
They've been cooking, man. They've been
All
cooking.
spear throws on the Huntress can also be empowered by frenzy charges. For example, explosive spears will do an even larger explosion and leave fire on the ground. And these empowered versions can activate even more combos. Using Whirling Slash over ground fire
Oh,
will suck
snap.
it into the whirlwind, adding fire to the explosion.
That's cool.
Using twisters inside a fire whirlwind will
Fire
shoot out fire
twisters?
tornadoes as well.
Yep. There you go. That's pretty
And you
sick.
can do similar combos with ice
Oh, wow. And poison?
lightning too.
Lightning? That's really cool.
Now, a key aspect of hunting is exhausting your foes by causing blood loss. This skill is Rake, which dashes towards your target and
Bleed.
unleashes a deadly slash,
Nice.
opening up wounds on your enemies.
Bleed
Follow up,
Warrior?
Disengage and watch them bleed out as they run towards you.
Yep. Maybe Bleed Warrior
On the
time.
health bar of monsters,
Warrior
you
can
see
use
how
spear
much
too.
blood loss the enemy has experienced, and the Huntress has skills to take
Oh,
advantage
nice.
of
I like
this.
that.
For example, using Blood Hunt will thrust forward and cause a bloody explosion. The more blood loss, the bigger the explosion. If you want to cause bigger bleeds, try out Rapid Assault. The final hit of this multi-hit combo will stick a spear into your enemy for a big bleed.
Huh.
Now, Explosive Spear and Rapid Assault both result in leaving spears behind, either in the ground or in enemies. But there are other skills that leave spears around too, like Storm Lance, that leaves an
Okay.
electrical spear that arcs towards enemies. But what can you do with all these spears? Detonate them, of course. Thunderous Leap will allow you to jump onto and explode any spears either in the ground or in your enemies. Now, as well as hunting animals,
Interesting.
Huntress also has the ability to work with them. While fighting any beast, you have the ability to tame it and use it as a companion. You can only have one companion at a time, but it will keep the mods that were on it.
What?
Try to find a rare beast with good mods to take full advantage of your
Bro.
ability to tame them.
That's crazy.
Now, this is just the beginning of the Huntress. We've really tried to make the hybrid ranged and melee gameplay work for this class by having a huge amount of synergy between ranged and melee options. There are 22 new skills available for the Huntress. By endgame, you'll be slinging hundreds of
Well, they say
insanely powerful
Huntress, but you can
spears,
play the weapon as
sending forth
anything.
spirit animals and summoning the might of Solaris from the sky.
Like a warrior. Huntress does look cool though, huh?
But we still haven't talked about ascendancy classes yet. What can the Huntress ascend into? Well, the first ascension class you could choose is the Ritualist. The Ritualist has embraced the darker side of his merry traditions by harnessing the power of animal
Look at the size of
sacrifice
that
and
parry.
plague. The corrupted life
That
force
looks
skill
kinda
causes
crazy
all
when there's
enemies
other
around
mobs
you to grow
around.
volatile blood boils on their skin. When those enemies are slain, the boils will burst, spreading corrupted blood to all enemies around them.
Ooh. And
The
awesome.
Ritualist also excels in taking advantage of magical trinkets. The Unfurled Finger skill allows you to equip an additional ring on a finger
That's
around your neck.
nutty.
Taking Mystic Attunement increases the bonuses of all the rings and amulets you have equipped.
What? That plus the
Now, this is
bell?
one
Are
of my
you kidding me?
favorites. As the Whispers Ask grants you a new skill, Ritual Sacrifice.
What?
Use the skill on the corpses of slain rare monsters to absorb the power in their blood, to give you one of their modifiers for a short time. Specialize further into Ritualistic Sacrifice with As the Whispers Demand, which allows you to perform that skill on yourself instead of a corpse. Cut your own hand, sacrificing some of your own blood to empower yourself.
Huh. Interesting.
The Amazon Ascension is for those looking to hunt more than just beasts.
What the heck?
Trained as an elite
Yeah, can you
guard,
imagine that with
most
the belt?
important as Mary
Ingenuity
Elders.
belt? Are you kidding
the
me?
Amazon will use more traditional fighting techniques.
3
mastered to
buffed
perfection.
ring slots, and then you get the belt that makes them
Predatory
even more
instinct
buff?
skill will cause you to reveal weaknesses in the defenses of rare and unique enemies, causing you to deal more damage. You can see those weak spots represented on their life bars.
Nice.
While using elemental infusion,
That's cool.
any charges you consume will infuse your weapon with elemental power, causing any projectile attacks to explode on impact. The critical strike skill is as simple as it sounds. It takes your excess accuracy and gives it to you as critical strike chance.
Oh my gosh.
Additionally,
That's
you have
crazy.
skills like Mystic Harvest, which allows your elemental damage to leech life, and
Wow.
as Merry Brew to be able to use either flask to restore both life and mana.
Dude, what?
So those are the 2 new ascendancies for the Huntress.
Bro.
But those are not the only ascendancies in Dawn of the
That
Hunt.
class seems
Added a new
crazy.
ascension class for 3 of the other existing classes too.
Let me see the warrior one.
First up, for our warriors out there, we have the Smith of Kitava.
Okay.
The warrior is a blacksmith in origin,
Logging in.
taught by his father,
Smith of
Renly.
Kitava.
With this ascension, you can take your smithing skills to new heights by embracing power from the insatiable one himself, Kitava.
Nice.
Smiths of Kitava are master blacksmiths
the
and have
heck
the
is going
ability
on
to
with this
forge
tree?
their weapon, quite literally. Using the Against the Anvil notable skill, you can enhance your weapon with fiery destruction before any battle.
Okay.
After doing so, your attacks will release explosions on hit for maximum devastation. You can also use the power of Kitava to
Cool.
summon an animated copy of your weapon to fight alongside you.
Okay.
A great blacksmith can do more than just forging their
Okay.
weapon. Their armor can be enhanced too. Now you might think this Ascendancy class tree looks a little abnormal.
It
And you're
does.
right. There's a lot of notable skills all disconnected at the bottom there.
What's going on?
By taking this point here, which is free to assign, your character is unable to equip body armors with mods of any kind. So your body armor must be normal. Sounds like a downside, right?
Well.
Except now in true blacksmith fashion, you get to craft your own body armor by taking those disconnected notables with your points.
What?
If you want your body armor to grant life, take this notable. If you want resistances, take this one. There's so many choices. Think of it like you're crafting your own body armor, just
How
in
many
a more
can you
literal
take?
sense. Now, let's move on to those who
What?
prefer the reassuring feel of a crossbow in their hands, the mercenary. Alongside the existing Ascension classes, the Gemling Legionnaire and the Witch Hunter, you can now play as the Tactician.
Bro, we gotta take a look at that.
The Tactician is a former Blackguard elite.
What the heck?
Free from the duties of a Blackguard, he is able to use his training to decimate the monsters of Rayclast and earn a healthy income.
So you can just
doing so.
like put
This training comes
How
in the
many
form of
points
various
into that
skills,
thing?
like suppressing fire, which causes all projectiles to pin enemies.
It's
When
freaky.
combined with the right where we want them notable, your pin not only stops your enemies from moving, but stops them from performing actions too, similar to freeze. With a soldier's training, the Tactician also works well cooperatively. Using the whoever pays best notable, you can place multiple banners at once. The Watch
Okay.
How We Do It skill gives a portion of your
Is it
weapon's
like your
damage to your
support
allies
guy?
as well. But if that isn't enough, you can also command your army of off-screen archers to unleash hell and
What the
carpet an
heck?
entire area with arrows.
Jeez.
Finally, witch players will be able to join their
Alright, so we're
legions
gonna
by
play the- we're
becoming
gonna try the
undead
warrior one.
themselves. In Dawn
You can
of
have
the Hunt,
8.
we're introducing the Lich Ascension class.
You
The
have
Lich
8
is a master
of
of
those
chaos
things.
and curses and could sacrifice her life to enhance her energy shield. The crystalline
you're
phylactery
giving up your
skill
body
allows you to
armor.
nominate a jewel in which to contain part of your soul,
To get some
massively
cool
increasing
stuff,
its
but
power.
yeah, we'll see.
There's just one downside to splitting your soul this way, though. If you have no energy shield, your mana costs will shoot up. The Necromantic Conduit skill causes you and allies in your presence to have unholy might, granting extra damage as chaos damage. Rupture the Soul makes enemies you curse explode with chaos damage when slain.
I definitely have to look at that ascendancy and see what all you can put on
Dominion
there.
over Flesh allows
See how
you
many
to
points
apply
you
an
have
additional
available
curse.
for your body armor. Because that
It's
Warrior
safe to
Invictus
say
is
you'll be
pretty
a true
good.
Master of the Occult by choosing the Lich class. So Dawn of the Hunt has the Huntress.
But
and
that'll
5
get
new
you going for a
Ascension
while
classes.
before that, I suppose.
But it doesn't end there. Let's take a look at some of the new skills we've added.
Okay.
Now you may remember we've previously talked about the raised
Are we still
Spectre
using
skill.
maces, though,
It's
the
finally
whole time?
complete
We'll see.
and will be made available in the upcoming expansion. It can be found in the occult skills on the skill gem crafting panel. Raised Spectre is a skill that allows you to trap the soul of almost any monster in the game, which you can then summon in the skill panel. Spectres cost spirit and will revive automatically if they die, but the spirit cost varies based on the power of the monster. You could summon an army of weaker monsters, or a few of the more powerful monsters. You can combine them with your existing skeleton minions, or summon exclusively specters. It's all up to you and how you want to customize your army of the undead. Given that there are hundreds upon hundreds of monster variants in Path of Exile
Specters
2,
are not
it's safe to say you'll be experimenting with this one for a while.
really related to me,
Look forward to
but
seeing which monsters serve you best.
it does look interesting for minion
Now
dudes.
let's move on to our next skill. Since we've been talking about summoning undead so much, let's have a change of pace and summon something a little more alive. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding the Summon Rower skill. Summon your friendly rower to aid you in combat as a minion. You can also mount your rower in combat at any time, allowing you to move at full speed, even while shooting arrows or throwing spears. Be wary though, if you take too much damage while riding your mount, you can be knocked off and get overwhelmed. It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death. On the topic of new ways to enhance your character, let's talk about support
That's
gems.
hilarious.
Support gems are used to modify your skill gems in meaningful and interesting ways.
That's funny.
Currently, we feel that a lot of builds have insufficient options here. To alleviate this, we're adding over 100 new support gems.
That's crazy.
Hema crystals will enable a new kind of bleed build, turning the damage over time you would have done into explosive Vile crystals.
Oh my gosh. That's
Alignment is a
crazy.
support gem for bow attacks, which can reward skilled players with good positional skills.
Oh my gosh.
Caltrops will allow you to litter the battlefield with hazards, slowing your
We have
foes
WoW
as you
yapping
fling
at us.
spears through their ranks.
That's
But
crazy.
there's plenty more for every playstyle, such as Enormity.
No, I
Unsteady
want
tempo.
my character to be Swole Diesel.
Profanity. Retaliate.
Oh, weird.
Syzygy. Yep, that's a real word.
Crushing blows against ignited and fully armor broken enemies.
And many more.
Hold on, what was that?
Now, we've talked about a new class, new
That looked like
ascendancy
it
classes,
sorta had to do with
new
me.
skills, and new support gems. But let's not forget about the core of a true action RPG, the items. To start with, let's talk about uniques. We're adding over 100 new unique items. This time, we've made sure to add uniques with a focus on mid and end-game tiers to make sure there are more exciting
Cool.
items to find for higher-level characters.
Great.
Let's look at some examples.
Great.
Embrace your inner devil with Chernobog's
Chernobog's.
Pillar. It grants you a large amount of fire damage based on your block chance. The Coming Calamity allows
pretty
you to
good.
become a true master of the elements,
Good
granting
start.
you all 3 Elemental Herald skills without
Something.
costing any spirit. At the same time, it penalizes enemy resistances. Waste
What?
Gate is a belt useful for builds using a single resource like Blood Magic or Archmage builds. With this belt, you can use 2 Life Flasks or 2
Oh,
Mana Flasks.
that's pretty
It's
cool.
up to you. Now, we could go through these all day.
I
but
use
we'll
blood
leave most
magic.
of them for you to discover.
Cool.
Suffice to say, though, we want there to be way more cool things to find.
It's a cool helmet.
Over time, our goal is to add a unique to every single base item type at a minimum, so that you can chance any base in the game. Now, given that we have the Huntress, we have a set of unique spears from early game all the way through the end game as well. One example is Scyther's Spear, which combines bleed and fire in a powerful way.
Wow.
It allows your ignites
can't
to be
use
aggravated,
projectiles?
dealing
That's all right.
substantially more damage.
Just be
But
melee.
also introducing a
bleed
suite
fire,
of
that's
unique
cool.
bucklers with some interesting parry mechanics. Kalgyra's Arc, for example, allows you to parry projectiles from any distance. And we're also adding our first unique charms.
As opposed to what?
Bayra's Anguish will not only protect you from Ignite, but will also emit a devastating fire nova whenever you do get ignited.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
In sum, there's just a ton of new uniques to find. We can't wait to see the weird and broken builds that come out of it. Now, we also want to talk about crafting options. In each major update during
Okay.
early access, we'll be continuing to add and
They
improve the
gotta
options.
keep working on that
We have
crafting for
various
sure.
new crafting tools that have been added as rewards to many of the different types of new content that we're adding. But for now, I just want to mention the changes to runes. Runes
okay.
add commonly available mods, but since they only have one tier, flat damage mods tend to get outclassed by in-game. So we've changed runes to have multiple tiers, allowing you to get higher tier mods than before.
That's
Our
cool.
plan is to significantly expand the number of more specialized
That's very
mods
cool.
for crafting using socketables
Yeah.
as we add new content over time.
Nice.
And the first new set of those comes from what we're talking about next.
The mech.
In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding Asmarian Wisps, which can be found throughout both the campaign and the endgame.
Okay.
The Asmari spirit has made itself present in Rayclast.
Huntress looks
appears
pretty
to be
cool,
trying
actually.
to warn, or maybe prepare us for the coming darkness. You will first encounter a manifestation of it in the Grellwood in Act 1, where you'll meet Delwyn, and his Mary Hunter who is trying to find out what exactly is causing the spirit to behave this way. As you approach the wisp, it will flee, leading you past monsters. Any monsters it comes into contact with are infused by it, making them more powerful. Each spirit is associated with a specific revered animal within his Mary culture. This one is a wisp of the Great Bear, and grants enemies extra life and stun. The wisp moves faster the closer you are, and as you move away, they slow down to wait for you.
Okay.
But if you get too far away for too long, they'll dissipate and return to the woods. As you continue to chase the wisp, it will find and possess a rare or unique monster, granting it a new powerful ability. Because this was a wisp of the Great Bear, this monster now also has increased life and stun. But on top of that, it will periodically summon a large spectral bear that slams with wild fury.
Okay.
If you're able to defeat this foe, you will be rewarded. For each monster that was infused and killed along the way, the rewards will be increased. Each wisp has its own mechanics. The wisp of the Winter Owl is a primal wisp that causes enemies to deal extra cold damage, gain energy shield, and release wind vortices on death. When infusing a monster, they will call down large tornadoes to protect their host. The wisp of the Wild Cat is a vivid wisp that causes affected monsters to deal more critical strikes and become more evasive. When it infuses a monster, it will summon a barrage of feline spirits.
These are going to be scary, actually, I bet.
If you're lucky, you may even find sacred wisps that can do some pretty crazy things to the monsters they influence. Like the wisp of the Cunning Fox, which turns normal monsters into magics, magic monsters into rares, and rare monsters into actual bosses.
Oh my gosh, what the heck?
As Marion Wisps can drop a new set of sortable items that allow you to craft a wide range of interesting new mods into your items. Each one may only be used on a specific item slot. As mentioned,
those
the
look
Asmarian
insane.
Wisps can be encountered throughout the game, but there's also a new endgame map called the Asmari Ranges, a mountain village where the Asmari once lived, now overrun with corrupt monsters. This map
really
always
pretty.
has multiple Asmarian Wisps in it, and familiar, yet not quite the same boss fight.
What the heck?
Asmarian Wisps can also be further modified by the endgame Atlas tree as well.
Wow, okay.
And by tablets. But I'm not going to be the one talking about those things.
Okay.
In order to cover all the new content in in-game, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. There's a ton to talk about with the endgame today, so let's dig right in. Path of Exile 2's early access began with a brand new endgame, and it was clear that it needed a lot of work.
Yeah, it was fun though.
After absorbing your feedback, we're ready to make some epic changes.
This is going to be interesting.
The first thing is, we just need a lot more content.
Okay.
In Dawn of the Hunt, we have made sure to focus on increasing the sheer number of interesting and different encounters you will randomly stumble into as you explore the endgame.
Not a blight.
And the second goal is to smoothen the progression through maps and reduce the amount of annoying busy work.
My brain
to start
is even...
with, let's talk about the new interesting stuff to
Remove
find.
this mechanic name from my...
The most obvious thing to add are new maps. As well as the Asmari Ranges that Jonathan mentioned earlier, Dawn of the Hunt also contains 7 other new maps, all with their own custom encounters.
Nice.
Let's start with this one.
They look
The
good.
Feral Megaliths map starts off in the wild Ezomite forests.
They look good.
As you progress through the forest, you will find mysterious rune-carved stones that, when touched, surge with energy. After activating all the stones, you can find a grand henge.
You have to click
where
them
all
all.
the energy is coalescing. You can then start an encounter.
No.
The area darkens, a storm moves in, and a concentration of energy summons a dangerous boss. You must fight and defeat the boss to get its rewards. Once you have defeated it, summon another. And another. And another. And another. You have 10 total waves of boss fights which get incrementally more difficult.
Okay.
If you manage to defeat them, you get full boss rewards, but also opportunities to get new runes. These can only be obtained from this map.
Whoa.
The Fractured Lake contains a surreal waterscape with fractured
cool.
mirror-like objects. As you move around the map, the terrain itself elevates from below, creating the ground you walk on.
Interesting.
In this unique map, all the rare monsters are
Drowning
moved,
orbs,
so
no!
you're always fighting 2 of the same rare at the same time, which can prove quite difficult. If you manage to overcome that challenge and make it to the end of the map, you'll be presented with a broken mirror, a powerful altar-like object that contains an item within it. The item contained within is a new base type, either an amulet or a ring. that can be crafted to have additional prefixes or suffixes at the cost of the other. The last unique map we'll show today is one based around the essence mechanic. You enter a crystalline cavern, and you will find a powerful map boss imprisoned in the center. It is surrounded by many rare monsters, also imprisoned in essences. By freeing and defeating the rare monsters, the essence they held will be upgraded to a greater essence and be added to the imprisoned map boss.
Oh,
how brave are you? How many essences will you add to the boss?
Oh
Overdo
my
it,
gosh.
And you might lose everything. Underdo it, and you might regret it. It's your choice.
Monka Mega.
Speaking of essences, alongside visual
it said 6 times portals remaining. Did you guys see that?
Varlorbs to corrupt the essences with a range of unpredictable outcomes.
Did you guys see that?
It could increase the number of essences.
6 times portals remaining.
Reroll all the essences to the same type, or even upgrade the essences to greater essences.
They're changing.
What if they're already greater essences? Well, it can upgrade those.
Essence of Insanity.
We have 4 new corrupted essences: Essence of Hysteria, Delirium, Horror, and Insanity.
Each corrupted essence has its own interesting combat mechanics. For example, the Essence of Insanity causes you to question even your own mind, as monsters split into shadowy clones, and you must locate the real one before a devastating icy explosion freezes everything around it.
Bruh.
Each of these has their own crafting outcomes.
Bruh.
The Essence of Insanity can be applied to a belt. It adds a mod that will ensure the next Varlorb used on the belt will guarantee adding 2 enchantments.
Dude.
It's worth noting all the essences in the unique map can also be corrupted too, if you're willing to risk it. It's worth noting we have also added 10 extra Atlas Tassel points you can earn by
the guys who make PoE are
maps.
Nuts. They're out of their mind with what they come up with. That's crazy.
We had a goal where we wanted to make sure you were constantly finding exciting new content.
That's awesome.
And that
this
it could
level
be
of
lurking
creativity.
around any corner. So, we have added a bunch of new things that you could stumble into.
Let's just do it and just see what happens. What if? Like, what if we did this and they just do it?
Rogue exiles.
Pretty crazy. Rogue exiles, this would be fun.
Exiled and are openly hostile.
It's like sort of pseudo PvP.
Some are malicious, some are mad, while others are simply fiends for loot. They will challenge you.
Dude, this guy's build is trash.
Your build is
trash, bro. What is this?
They aren't just dressed up in those items.
Okay, here are the gods will do some work. What is this build?
Like a player versus player situation.
Rolling slam, non-splitting fissures.
If you are able to slay these exiles, those items will all drop on the ground.
That's funny.
So if you encounter an exile using a powerful or valuable unique item, which you can see displayed under their life bar, you want to be damn sure you kill them.
Has thingy equipped? Has whatever equipped.
You and your party,
that's cool.
They'll portal out, taking their items with them.
See ya.
Every fight will feel completely different depending on the items they come
That
equipped
is sick.
These exiles are much smarter than your regular monster. They have capabilities to dodge roll, avoid your abilities with smart pathfinding, smart targeting, and much more action-packed gameplay.
Nice.
Fortunately, they're like you, and they're not super durable. Unless, of course, they're wearing uniques like Helm's Heart, in which case, expect a longer battle. There are 12 different rogue exiles you can find, each with their own skills and personalities.
But yeah, so that looks like portals are for every map now, which was not the case before.
Admire your honor in combat.
That's cool.
Another encounter you might stumble onto in Dawn of the Hunt are one of 4 new unique strongboxes.
Strongboxes are chests with modifiers. When you try to open them, they activate traps and spawn waves of monsters that you must defeat to access the loot.
It looks very colorful, doesn't it?
Let's take a look at 2 of the new unique boxes that are harder to find and behave just a little bit differently. The Ogham's Legacy Strongbox has a corpse splayed out in front of the rune-carved stone. Upon interacting with the stone, you activate Forbidden Ezomite magic, which revives the monster as a powerful rare. The Strongbox comes with a modifier which determines how many times it will revive that rare. Each time you defeat the monstrosity, the Strongbox revives it again, adding an extra modifier to the monster.
Yeah.
With each resurrection, it becomes more difficult, but also more rewarding.
Cool.
This Strongbox is infused with thaumaturgy from ancient Vaal technology. Eshel's Torment has a powerful artifact inside, and is guarded by chaos itself.
Oh my gosh.
Defeating the monsters will grant you a unique item with a specific corrupted outcome. You'll have to find the other 2 for yourself to see what they do.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about the introduction to the
Cool.
endgame. Upon starting the endgame, Doriani tasks you with cleansing corruption to help restore the land.
We're going to be playing this next Friday,
However,
guys.
in practice, the quest
Very
objective
excited.
just sent you on a grind to clear
Be a lot of
15
fun.
maps. We wanted to make the quest to unlock your Atlas passives much more interesting.
Now, Doriani is tasking you with a more specific objective. On the Atlas, you will find areas of corruption
Right.
caused by the beast.
All right.
In the center of
I like
each
those.
one, you will find a corrupted nexus,
Oh.
the source of the affliction.
Oh.
In the areas
Cool.
leading up to the nexus,
Next Friday.
you will notice that
No,
corruption
that's
spills out
this
from
content
slain
is
enemies
next Friday.
and amalgamates into powerful
I don't know when the
monsters.
full release is, but I mean, like, yeah, you can play it.
Corrupted
It's
maps
just not free
existed
yet.
on the Atlas before, but we've done significant work on improving these monsters. We've
it's not
also
done
done
yet.
a full pass on the modifiers on these maps to make them more interesting and more rewarding.
Cool.
Once you reach the Nexus, you will have a new
More corrupted
task.
zones is good.
Cleanse the source of corruption. When you defeat the last rare in those maps, they will spawn one of 3 terrifying bosses. Amalgamations of corruption itself. After defeating that boss, Doriani will come and cleanse the corruption for good. As the remains of the boss are purged of corruption, it coalesces into raw crystallized power, which you can use to gain points for your Atlas passive skill tree.
Okay.
The upgrade system that allows you to add and enhance content in your maps.
Interesting.
We didn't stop there though. When you complete a corrupted nexus, all of the remaining surrounding corrupted maps will become cleansed maps. Cleansed maps also have new monsters, a new boss, and their own set of modifiers and rewards.
Huh.
Including finding fracturing orbs by slaying cleansed enemies.
Bruh?
These orbs can be used in crafting on a rare item to cause one of its modifiers to become fractured. A fractured modifier is one that cannot be modified by any means.
That's crazy.
You are able to freely modify the item, ensuring the fractured modifier will never change.
That's
If you get the right
crazy.
item with the right mod, it can prove to be a very powerful
Wow,
crafting base
alright.
indeed.
That's big.
You must now choose.
That's huge.
Do you complete
Nice,
all the
Henson.
corrupted
Yeah,
maps and
you'll
then the
enjoy it, man.
Nexus?
New WoW expansion's
Or
been
maybe
great so
you
far. This
beeline to
season's
the
super
Nexus,
fun.
complete it, and do all the remaining
We'll be playing
maps
WoW
cleansed.
in addition to PoE.
Both have rewards to entice you and challenges to assess.
This is looking real cool.
Now, let's have a talk about towers.
Yeah.
One thing we've had a lot of feedback on is the busy work
Yeah.
around running towers and managing your tablets.
Wait, we can do 3 of them now?
The first change we've made here is that we have reduced the number of towers drastically. So there are now 1/3 as many as before, but we've made them much more powerful.
Oh, I kind of liked having a lot of towers, but okay.
To start with, tablets now inherently add twice as many mechanics. But that's not all. Running higher tier maps and towers now increases the number of mechanics applied by tablets. By tier 15, the bonus is double, allowing a single tablet to now add 4 times as many mechanics as before.
Dang!
So, we're running far fewer towers, dealing with fewer tablets, and affecting even more maps than before. But because there are fewer towers overlapping with each other, you won't get as many opportunities to stack different tablets.
Right.
In order to solve this, we've made it so that each tower can consume up to 3 tablets at once. You always get 1 slot on completing the tower, but if you can complete a tower with more mods on the waystone, you can unlock a 2nd or 3rd slot. Overall, this allows for even more juicing from towers,
Why does it have
while
4 though?
drastically reducing the amount of busy work you have to do.
Dang,
On top of
that's
that,
sick.
towers are much more interesting maps because they can now spawn with all mechanics,
Oh, cool.
including bosses.
Oh,
Each tower map has a new boss.
wow.
Let's take a look at a couple here.
They
The
are
boss fight
cooking.
of the Alpine Ridge map has 2 powerful witches contesting for territory. One witch has an affinity for ice, the other fire. Who will win? Hopefully neither.
What the heck?
The boss of the Sinking Spire map is a remnant of the Val
Bro.
that has been charged with the
They
lightning.
are cooking.
It uses a full suite of lightning abilities. But be careful. If any of them hit the surrounding constructs, they will power up.
Oh dear.
Another thing that we've seen a lot of feedback about is sustaining waystones. As we looked into it,
I mean, a
we
lot.
realized that the people who couldn't sustain waystones were
Suck.
dying a lot.
Yeah.
A lot more than we had expected. And that made us realize something.
You're bad.
During the
no.
campaign, the expectation is that you can die multiple times in order to learn how to overcome challenges. You are able to learn how the monsters behave, adapt to their skills,
Yeah, they're gonna give
and
us more
eventually
portals.
overcome them. But as soon as you get to the end game, you are effectively no longer allowed to die if you want to sustain waystones.
Yeah.
By the time you are getting towards the end of endgame, we want you to have to be careful not to die. But it certainly shouldn't be that we have such a sudden shift as you run your first maps.
I'd rather just not lose XP, but
The first change we're making is you can now respawn and return to a map if you die. Continuing from where you left off.
Right.
When you start the endgame, you get up to 6 total attempts per map.
Okay.
As you add more modifiers to a waystone, the number of respawns goes down.
Right.
This means that as you get to the point that you're running every waystone as a rare, you will have to be more careful.
Okay.
In parties, everyone gets to respawn that number of times. But we still think it's important that you can kill a boss in one go. In order to allow that to happen, we've made a change so that once you start the boss fight, it changes over to the same respawning system we use for pinnacle bosses. This means that the map owner can choose to respawn everyone at the same time. Another complaint we've seen a lot of is players not wanting to do the pinnacle content because of the experience penalty from dying. A change we've made here is that all pinnacle content now no longer grants experience, but also no longer removes experience on death either.
Okay. That's good.
Dawn of the Hunt also brings the first batch of Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs.
I can get down with that.
These keys contain items selected by our supporters.
Losing XP on pinnacle bosses definitely was making me like very hesitant to try it, but that's good.
If the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by this content will be able to provide these items. For example, Hand of Wisdom in action can only come from a key dropped by Zesht. We're also making a change that allows pinnacle boss uniques to drop at any difficulty. Rarer uniques will be rarer at lower difficulties, but still possible to find. This applies to the drop chances for the reliquary keys from this content as well.
Okay.
We spoke about towers and tablets earlier, but we have also added
reliquary
a suite
keys
of
something that you have
unique
to pay for?
tablets.
Because I don't like that if that's the case.
Each of these adds crazy interactions to the maps influenced by it. For example, this unique tablet allows you to run any map in a tower's radius without requiring connections, which can be quite useful for jumping gaps and traveling around your atlas.
Okay.
And this tablet causes all runic monsters spawned during expedition encounters to be duplicated.
Oh,
and weakens all expedition monsters that emerge from the ground. The Atlas tree has also been expanded, and you can find many of the new mechanics there.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And improvements to existing ones too.
Very fun.
Now through this live stream,
we've
mentioned quite a few new crafting options that we've added. New runes, corrupted essences, fractured mods, and jewelry crafting bases. But we did have just one more crafting system to talk about. Recombination.
Okay.
Expedition was the only in-game mechanic that was lacking a crafting system, so that needed to change. Recombination is a mechanic that might be familiar to some players. It allows you to merge 2 items together, hoping to get the best elements of each on a single new item. This new crafting bench will be unlocked as you complete your first expedition, and requires artifacts found during expeditions to fuel it. The rarer the mods on the item you are combining, the more expensive the cost.
Interesting.
That wraps up all the major in-game changes we're talking about today.
Good
With
stuff.
all the system changes and new content, we can't wait to get in there, start blasting maps, and obliterating monsters.
It looks like to me.
There is one more thing we wanted to clarify before we move on, which is that all the content we've talked about today will be made available in the existing early access leagues, so you can play your existing characters. However, there will be new leagues made for those who wish to start in a fresh economy. It is recommended to start over and get the full new experience.
I think we're going to start
Dawn of
over.
the Hunt leagues.
That's safe though. People really freaked out about Diablo.
We're really looking forward to joining you playing in this new update. For those who don't already have access and are interested in playing Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, you are able to at any time purchase an early access supporter pack at www.pathofexile2.com. Additionally, the Paladin
I think
and supporter
it's
packs
kind of
are
a
now
smart decision to do it that way.
purchase
Not everybody wants
in
to level
Path of
again,
Exile 2,
so
and
I think that helps
6
people not
microtransactions
freak out.
each, and the full pack's face value in points. All the microtransactions contained within these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
I'm just not sure what the point of a new league is then.
We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D.
That's the one part that's like,
next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the news. On release weekend, we expect to launch the new mystery box and many new microtransactions, including Path of Exile 2's first alternate skill effects. Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments.
That was cool.
We're looking forward to playing the Huntress, trying new builds, and exploring the new.
So I'll be playing the Warrior. I just don't know why we make a new league.
We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
We'll see. Yeah, no new weapons for Warriors kind of stinks, but new Ascendancy is kind of cool. Do you guys want to listen to the Q&A? That was cool though. Lots of things to look forward to. I'm excited. I do think I'll be playing Warrior probably. Maybe Warrior with a spear. See how it goes. Just raise out the comment. Yeah, but making it so that you don't have to makes it kind of weird, but oh well. GG. Alright, do you guys want to listen to this? It's kind of quiet. Huntress is the new class. One new class. But a whole bunch of new skills and everything else, so I'm gonna go get that on YouTube for you guys.
Yes, that's right, that's right. Yes,
I'm probably gonna...
We actually last night had a design session and realized that we weren't actually fully happy with the way the recombination worked. So we actually made quite a big change to it, which wasn't reflected in that video, obviously. Which is basically that we sort of wanted to give a bit more control to the player over how recombination works. And we also kind of weren't really happy about the fact that recombinations is something that like kind of matters a lot for really, really ultra in-game players.
You guys interested in this? I'm gonna play WoW, but we can listen to it if you want.
People who effectively got access to the feature at the start.
Once they turn the volume up, at least.
Now, so that the way it works is that you pick which mods you want on the.
Also, I want to see this.
On the, each item, from each item, and then it gives you a percentage chance of success based on the number you pick. So if you pick just like one from one and one from the other, then the chance is much higher. But if you pick if you pick 6 mods, it'll become practically.
I don't know what the drops situation is there.
You know, like the more you're wanting to.
Gonna play the new Warrior Ascendancy? Yeah, I will. Are we gonna play more Assassin's Creed? I kind of doubt it, man.
If you want to get an item,
I think if we were gonna do variety, it'll probably be our variety stuff will probably end up being like last Berserker Kazan, or sorry, first Berserker Kazan.
From the first point you get them.
If I had to guess.
Still this kind of in-game, like you know, like for perfect stuff, you might still be able to do it. It is kind of balanced though, so that like
all right, I'm gonna just keep playing. I think. Let's swap over. I'm just gonna go back to this. That was cool though. Would you guys want to? I mean, we could listen to it. I feel like I need to pull up in like a window or something, and sometimes that makes my OBS crash. So I don't know if I want to do that. I want to level this warrior a bit. If they turn up, we can listen to it though. But my plan is to play the new Warrior Ascendancy, and maybe a new weapon. Maybe play Spear. The Huntress does sound cool, but I gotta check out the new Warrior Ascendancy. I wonder if they'll have info on it just to look at it. Because the chest piece thing does sound cool, but we'll have to look and see how powerful it'll feel. If there's anything that like kind of stands out. That's something cool we could do with it. Because Huntress probably would be pretty fun. Because you can play Huntress as like a melee bleed thing. But I could play Warrior as a melee bleed thing. I think Warrior with Spear sounds kind of fun. Especially if you can do like bleed stuff, right? I think that'll be sick. And that may be what I'm doing. Like a Forge Master Spear Warrior. Does that sound interesting? Sounds kind of crazy, but I mean, it just might work, you know? It's so crazy, it just might work. So maybe we send it, you know? We'll see. What's up, BGD? When swords come out? Yeah, swords would be sick. Axes would be sick. We don't get him this time, but whatever, you know. Whatever. Let's roll. Tactician mercenary sounds off. How so? Off. Like good or not good? Let me see if they fix the audio on this thing. Maybe we could just listen to it.
That is so true. You can use the ingredients of one in the other, or the outcome of one as an ingredient in another.
Cool. We'll talk more about crafting a little bit later on for sure.
Let me see if I can. This is like a little bit risky, but I'm gonna see if it might crash my stream, but it also might not. So let me.
Firstly, though,
let me try.
Quick clarification on the league. So there's.
I am live streaming. What's up, dude?
Joining us. If you were playing on a character, you can still keep playing on a character.
Did you have a good day, bud?
But a lot of long-term Path of Exile players know that.
Did you have a good day? Good.
Playing on a fresh start, and it's also really important for you guys as well.
For sure.
What made it a good day?
Basically, if we don't have like any character that's
stickers
come from before, you're just not gonna like. Because the balance
Excellent
is
job.
so different, because so many things have changed. We
not
really
faking me.
No point in even listening to feedback for someone who's playing the old league. Like, it really has to be that you're doing the fresh
Good
start
job, dude.
How things go.
I'm very proud of you.
New economy. So like we were really sort of.
Oh, I have an
It was
idea.
kind of an interesting decision about whether or not we should make it so that all the content is exclusive. Or rather, like what amount of content would be exclusive to the league versus not. And the issue that we had is that, so I mean, like a league means something in Path of Exile.
A little headbutt.
Like, in order for something to rise to the level of a league, it needs like a certain amount of features.
All
And
right.
the original thing we were thinking about.
We'll put that there. How about that?
The Asmeri and Wisps. But there wasn't quite like the kind of like meta mechanics and stuff with that.
Let's listen a little bit.
Didn't quite rise to the level of feeling like it deserved to be.
I think it makes sense for us to be in the WoW section, not the PoE section. Are you guys getting drops if we're in the PoE section, or is that, or the drops just for?
So we're a little bit. Like we kind of were deciding like, okay,
like the actual Path of Exile channel.
Kind of were deciding to make them exclusive or not. We sort of decided, you know what, for this one we're not going to.
Oh no, you do get drops.
Then what we'll probably try and do.
Oh snap! Okay.
For the
Let me get back in the. Okay, we're in the Path of Exile section anyway. It doesn't matter. Okay.
We'll actually make it a proper challenge league with like its own exclusive mechanic and so on. But yeah, it's a little bit funny because like in early access is a bit of a different situation, different, like, and so yeah, we'll sort of see how this goes anyway. But certainly I would encourage everyone just like start again on a new character, and I think you'll have a much better time because obviously if there's structural changes to the passive tree. It's like if you log in with your old character, you're going to have like your tree's going to get reset. You have to do stuff. There's things like that.
Yeah. What's the what's this thing called?
Changes, right?
What's the actual ascendancy called?
You're going to have a better time playing from the start.
That's it. And speaking of the Huntress then, so we saw our initial Huntress quite some time ago now and had some hands-on time with it and things, but I certainly haven't played that before and played it now recently.
Smith of Kitava.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So what was the, how hard was it to get it ready for release? What was kind of the key there?
I mean, it's funny because class design is one of those things where every time you add something, it can make you reevaluate everything else, which is why it's so hard to predict like how long a class will take. So like it changed a lot since the last time.
A spear bleed Smith warrior.
And honestly, like it's like while there are some skills that you will still see, like it just plays completely different. And I mean, whenever we're looking in like how we're going to
both of your cats say hi.
It really comes down to like
hello,
what
kitty
is
cats.
Special about the character class? Like how can we double down on that and make sure it feels different? So with the Huntress, you've obviously got spears.
Hello, kitties.
The key difference between a spear and any other weapon type is that you can both use them at melee and you can also use them at range. You can throw them. And so because of that,
so we're gonna listen to this.
We really were just really trying to incentivize everything possible so that you use both of those things. And action
how's that?
Players, they're generally speaking, the balance can often be such that you only.
Oh my gosh, we're fighting these things now.
One thing well, so trying to incentivize the kind of ranged and melee is.
How's Jenny? She's on the grind, man. She's doing her books. She's pumping.
Like there are combo chains.
Have you been following her on her socials and checking out her her writing posts and stuff? If not, you definitely should. Show her some love if you're a fan of Warcraft Gen like I am.
You end up with a very like agile character, like you're constantly moving.
Show her some love.
Forwards and kind of moving around. And I would say that like given that it's the Dex character, that it's good that it feels that way, that it feels the most agile of all of the melee character classes. So you know, that's been a really good one. But you know, I mean, look, there are, in terms of changes, I mean, look, there are just changes all the time. Like the frenzy charge thing was like relatively late in development. Like there's like quite a lot of things going on that.
Yeah, they're cooking, man. They're cooking.
Feel kept on evolving. And another big one, of course, was parry, which I honestly was very skeptical of working. And Mark, Mark was the one who saved it. Honestly, like I was like, you know what? There was like 3 times I think where I was like, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work. And then you were like, okay, I think you know we're gonna save this.
I was like, give me a week.
Yeah, exactly. And it works completely differently for most games, because in most games, obviously, with parry, the way it works is that, you know, you have to time the
not this one so much, the input, yeah.
That's just something that just
somebody these prime. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, dude.
You know, you're often packs of monsters.
If you refresh the stream and click share, it'll pop up. And it waits to the flex for it, of course, man. Thank you, dude.
At the same time, we need to make something.
Welcome back, man.
Like, you know, if a single
Simon just bleeds, yeah, definitely. But we'll send some bleed Smith.
So having it so
I'm down for that. Sounds interesting.
Always parries, because then taking advantage of what the parry does to the monster.
I don't know if that's really what like the build has in mind, like what the character has in mind when they designed it, but we'll see if it works.
Counter gameplay to work in our game.
The bleed Smith.
You've kind of got 2 primary parry follow-ups. You've got the frenzy charge one.
The question is, do we do fresh economy or not? I mean, I feel like we should. Is that what most people will be playing? We'll see.
Which you know, called Fangs of Frost, which
Burger Warrior PP. Oh yeah, it's tough. For BGs, yeah, it's tough.
Freezes the pack. So it's another way to kind of. So in both cases, you've kind of got.
What do you want to be battling and scrapping in the middle, or do you want to be?
That was kind of the biggest challenge.
As a shield. Or do you want to be kind of sneaking around,
any attack that allows you to
being a nuisance?
Parry to generate a frenzy charge too, so it doesn't even have to be the backflip.
Yeah.
Rogues do a lot of damage too.
Yeah, I mean, there's other,
might want to play Warrior though.
And then of course there's always Sniper's Mark. You know, and there's like.
You're on the Warrior channel right now.
It does give you a guaranteed crit, so that's a potential option as well. Like you've got a few different ways to generate them.
Because parry guarantees a light stone.
Yeah.
You always get that small window to actually engage or do a thing.
And I'll tell you this, like, I am one of those players who never parry, right? In any game, I can never do it. It's always just so frustrating. So I was very skeptical of that, but it feels really good. You both managed to make it something that's easy to do because you can just hold the button down and parry at any time.
Yeah, I feel like parrying as a warrior would be kind of fun.
But at the same time, you can incentivize making it so that you do want to still.
It'll be a different playstyle for sure.
You can personally. Well, how have you done that? How have you?
The thing that stands out is figuring out the stats. Yeah.
Kind of play
it's gonna open up your options. That's for dang sure.
Anytime you're holding down the parry buttons when you're not attacking, right? So you still want to
we'll see though.
The window, but at the same time, like the timing is just not like, you know, not as bad. But the nice thing as well is that like once you do successfully parry, it's very obvious. You get the sound, you feel like the total, so it's very chunky.
We'll see.
So you know, it means it's very obvious when you're supposed to counter.
Parry bone shatter combo, baby.
Really well.
That'd be insane.
Honestly, one of the funny things about it is that it immediately made me realize like how bad shields are in comparison. Which is why we're also trying to ninja in a change to how shields work at the last minute, which we'll see if it makes it into 0-2-0. I was playing around with it last night.
This was 8 PM last night.
Yeah, 8 PM last night, exactly. I was
messing with this.
Yeah, messing around with it. And, so, you know, I won't talk too much about how that's going to work, but effectively we want to make sure
sounds cool.
You know, the shield's better as well, and kind of build something into those to make.
They buff melee in PoE 2. So, not just like blanket melee buffs, but I mean the next weapon is a spear. And Warrior is one of the classes that got a new ascendancy, so that'll be fun. But we'll see. There are a lot of new skill gems and support gems, so that could definitely give you some different options. I think I want to play like a bleed. I'm just gonna do all the new stuff. I'm just gonna do like a bleed, spear,
how do you make that fun, firstly?
Like Smith Warrior.
Well, I mean, I guess there's a few things. Like one of them is it just has to be very readable and understandable.
Let's see how that goes, huh?
Like, you know, like what you can do and when you can do it. And I think the other thing that's really to our advantage here is reusing skills in multiple ways. So you don't need, so you can make a deeper combo chain without requiring you to be using as many skills in order to do it. So the way that Whirling Slash and Tornadoes interact with ground effects and kind of like all that stuff sort of means that, you know, you're using Whirling Slash multiple times as part of the same combo chain. And that's an idea, I think, that I'd like to try and explore more.
Alright, let's roll.
I think that it is a cool way to kind of extend the combo chain.
Leveling's pretty quick, especially with Zygor. By the way, if you guys are wanting to level up a new character in any version of World of Warcraft, absolutely type exclamation mark Zygor in the chat. They are my sponsor. They make leveling so easy and so nice.
Like obviously there's intended combos, but
I'm telling you, man, it's worth it. It's worth it in every version of WoW, even in modern WoW. Where leveling's like pretty chill,
like I added
still ultra nice.
Backflip skill, or I got a companion pet.
I don't really have any plans for mock release yet. I'm just kind of gonna get in there and see what's up.
That was available all the time.
I mean, it's funny as well because it also works on just enemy ground effects, and so sometimes you can just get a damage boost because the rare just happened to be dropping ground fire or something. So that's kind of fun. Yeah.
Going in and seeing what's going on.
It's just a lot of fun to play. You know, the first time I ran into that was actually in the graveyard where there's these like chests that like pop open with fire, and like I was using Tornado.
Yeah, we'll hammer out some WoW this week, and then next week we'll start weaving in some PoE too, at least.
It was just like a really cool moment where just sort of interacted with the environment, which
yeah, 100 new support gems. 100 new uniques, 25 new skill gems. A lot of that I would imagine has to do with the spear, a lot of those skill gems, but still. Maybe not exclusively, you know?
So, how do you go about balancing, though, when you have a class that has big combos and kind of somewhat requires you to do a bit more versus a class or a skill or a build that is just bomb?
I mean, you have to ultimately make the combos matter, right? And I think actually that's one of those things that we're trying to majorly focus on with the balance changes we're doing more generally, is making sure that
take them out.
Like, I think it's the case where some of the combo gameplay kind of degenerates a little bit by endgame in a way that
I just have to interact with them, or can I just slay them?
And so we were sort of doing various checks, you know,
there we go.
Recently about, you know, like as
I actually just killed that
example,
one. Whoops.
Right? Like, so on the Mercenary, we found that doing,
Whoopsies.
You know, but when you get to endgame, doing armor break, sorry, what's it called? The armor piercing that causes armor break, followed with high velocity rounds, is just worse than just using high velocity rounds. And that's like really bad, right? Like we have to make sure that we're improving that stuff. So it's like sometimes you just get these things where like the balance by endgame kind of degenerates in a way that that doesn't support the combo anymore.
Yeah,
so you have to make sure that when we're looking
true.
at buffing things, that we're like making sure that when we're doing it, it's to support the fact that using more things is actually a good thing.
Now we must
so yeah, we're really trying to make sure that we bring some of that.
We gotta do some campaign quest cooking here.
As well as we're making the balance.
Yeah, all three heralds is actually kind of wild.
Where like the really simplest build should be, the build that just
next week's going to be bonkers, yeah. I mean, big week of WoW, and then and PoE on Friday.
Players have to do a combo.
I mean, no,
people don't want
ultimately
to,
you never.
Thankfully, the game doesn't come out at 5 p.m. PST or 3 p.m. PST or whatever like they do for the PoE 1 leagues. Comes out at noon, so we can actually play a little bit, which would be good. Although we might be having our schedule allow us for more PoE.
It's the feeling you should be getting.
Might rally the troops for that one. We'll see.
Very well. Must be like extremely hard because I don't think I've ever seen a range melee combo done well.
Right.
Nice. Welcome.
It does require a lot of discipline, and it means that a lot of skills like end up on the cutting room floor because you try them out and then you realize, well, if this is in the game, then that's the only thing I'm ever going to do. So you got to be really careful about that stuff.
Certainly, playing the Huntress now makes me go back and look at the other classes and be like, we need to up
roast it up
the level there, and we missed the mark a little bit now. Because
that's interesting. If Huntress is like changing their opinion on the rest of the game, I don't know. Because they're talking about Huntress, but it's like the class is it's the spear, it's the actual weapon.
Yeah, do you see like going back to the monk at some point and looking for more
right? I don't know.
To link skills together with
I mean, we haven't got to the full skill set for any class yet already, and we need to add more pieces.
Because I think there's at least 4 skills that were designed in Hunter in the monk currently.
Yep, range are the same. There was extra poison skills. It tended to be more chaos dots. There's all kinds of stuff. We have to obviously. At some
we're like
point,
BFFs, me and these guys. We're like turbo BFFs.
Try and incrementally get it, like much like how Ray Spectre and I mean the mount works with the Huntress, but we were like,
let's 25 capped out.
Let's give something for the summoners out there this time, and So we're just going to keep filling in those gaps over time.
And it feels like you're getting better at.
Dude, Fearlath should be a BO.
So imagine last class you're going to
a BOA.
Amazing. You look back at the first ones and be like, ooh.
Just put on this character.
Possibly.
Well, that is the worry. But whatever.
But look, with that means we've got another round of going through everything and improving stuff again, right? So
and it will never end.
That's it. So with the parry came the kind of looking at the player getting stunned, particular player heavy stun. So it's always hard to tell players hey, we're gonna do something to you, and it's gonna be a bad thing. You're not gonna like this.
Well, the funny thing,
let's talk about why.
There's a few things like that actually, because so I mean, for a start, like we needed the downside of parry to be you know, like you get stunned out of it. But then when we're looking at how long, like we're like, okay, right now, even, and it's true with shield block as well, by the way. It's like if you get stunned out of that, the amount of time that you get stunned out for is actually not even enough time for most bosses to do a follow-up attack on you. And it's like, well, where's the downside if it doesn't even have enough time? So we did have to extend that out a little bit, and it makes you a little bit more careful. But just to warn people, right? There's a few other things like we lowered what's it called, I can't remember the name of that thing now. The thing that makes you more easy to be elemental statuses apply to you. Ailment threshold. That's right, ailment threshold. Yeah. So we lowered ailment threshold to actually make it so the player has those mechanics happen more to them, right?
Oh
like
boy.
Right now through campaign.
Wait, why is it like that now?
Or burning or shocked, really, to be honest. Yeah. So there's stuff like that we've had to do to kind of make sure that you know, that because if you don't have that stuff actually happen to you, then there's no point in mitigating it. And it's like, you know, things like charms
I don't like
not
that.
very useful because, you know, those
why is it like that?
happen to you. There's stuff like that, right? The downsides do actually matter in order to make it so that, you know, that you then, you know, there's other things you can do to sort of bypass those downsides. So yeah, that's kind of one of those things.
Why is it sorting my bags like this?
Is there?
I did always find it a little bit strange that like I was able to count the number of times I was frozen in the campaign on one finger.
For sure. For sure. For sure. But
it's always by those vile ghosts.
I don't like that.
Yes.
So expect a little bit more, a little bit more danger from the stun. I definitely died a couple times to getting heavy stun.
Yeah, it can happen.
So that's
what's the keybind to change that? You guys remember?
Bad blocking or parrying, but
I'm just using a bow and ranging a spear. Oh yeah, you can use any weapon type on any character. That's why I'm like. They're talking about the Huntress a lot, but it's like it's really more like the spear. But maybe the Huntress has like crazy, you know, like talents in their tree that make them like work really well with it, which makes sense, right? But I still want to do that with the warrior.
Our discussions we've had, and we haven't really come to anything conclusive there. But it's only from mount, raise shield, and parry, and of which, you know, at least for all of them, you can see your stagger bar filling up. It's worth noting things like evasion apply to, so when you're parrying, we turn off your evasion from taking damage because the block does.
We'll see.
Right? And otherwise you'd be like, I'm going to parry
Chronicle.
it. Oh, I evaded it, it didn't parry. But
you can. It makes it really easy.
So you don't take the
Some of the automation and stuff is super nice. Leveling in Modern was pretty easy, but we're sponsored by Zygor, so I fire it up any old time, bro. It's super nice.
The duration of the debuff, so you get to benefit for it longer. Reducing stagger is all over the place for both mount and the dex section of the tree. So yeah, you can mitigate. I mean, my expectation is probably you'll get some in-game builds that are just
defeat him in a pet battle. That's a world quest? No, get out of here.
Not every skill can be parried, of course.
Yeah, it otherwise follows the
doing that.
If it's a slam from above.
So you just answered all the questions right there for me? Nice.
Much to your frustration.
Nice.
Yes, I mean, there are a few things where I've got disagreements about what looks like it's parryable, but...
my hopeful there was when it's contentious, people would bring it up and would change it, right?
Sure.
So, like, if it's on the line, it's meant to be blockable.
Beautiful.
It's clear. There was no way with hundreds of monsters and many dozens of
beautiful. Lich Witch sounds interesting as well. Yeah, you got some cool options, man. I think I did something on my chair, though.
One damage type, one skill, one specific thing, and optimizing as much as possible. Because otherwise, you're just making a bad build a lot of the time. But I notice Huntress has a bit of everything. She's got bleed, she's got all the elements, she's got physical. The only thing she doesn't have is like chaos, but there's kind of poison on the tree right there. So, how do you like promote this? Like all of this different stuff together? Are you supposed to only kind of be relegated to using 2 or 3 skills, or are these supposed to come together? And how do you manage that?
Well, there's a few things. So one of them is that we provide a lot of combos with the expectation that you know, you'll probably be focusing around like a few specific things rather than necessarily using the whole tree. So like there's that. The other thing as well is just making sure that in the passive
No,
tree
thanks.
there's options that go across both. So the Huntress' passive tree has quite a lot of things like, you know, extra melee damage if you've done a range attack recently, and then it's got things like bonuses against blinded enemies, because while you're in a whirling slash there's so sort of stuff like that where we're trying to carefully think like, well, how can we come up with something that's interesting and buffs.
There we go. Let's get these dudes. Can I try the video? It's distracting. Distracting from my leveling. Nah, I'm listening to the PoE stuff.
Because yeah, like many categories of things only matter for one part of the combo. So
I'm
just
listening.
Like trying to come up with categories that can somehow span all of them in different ways, and you know, ideally, you know, we can achieve that. But yeah,
Talking about whatever happens with
generally, yeah, you're gonna become
with
more
Mob.
niche
What's going on?
Again, even mixing elemental and just possible, probably often going to result.
You probably wouldn't do both elemental and void.
Thanks, bro.
But that's why we kind of try to make sure that, like, so you've got sort of linkages between them, though, right? It's like, for example, the thunderous leap detonates the
I want to listen to
spear
this.
from the bleed thing. So it's like kind of like the idea there is to like. It changes how you, that skill then has a use in the combo with the other one. So even if that skill itself isn't doing a lot of damage, it's triggering something that's taking advantage of the damage bonus you've got from
I want to see what they're thinking for PoE 2.
To link all that stuff in a bit so that you can use the non like directly synergistic things in a kind of more synergistic way.
Yeah, that's if you didn't see that from the earlier trailer, it's
Yeah, talking about how we're listening to the PoE stuff in the PoE section, leveling our warrior.
But yeah, that's using an elemental skill like in another way as a detonator. But and even more, you've got weapon swaps as well.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, there's all those systems we already added about all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I mean, like, what will be interesting is whether or not we miss something cross-class, right? That's always a concern. Is someone will come up with some way to abuse something, you know, between something that's going on in the spear skills with some other class that we failed to consider.
Yeah, I mean, so that's it.
I didn't put the stuff on yet.
We typically like call it like, oh, Huntress is spears, but kind of not really. It's a signature weapon, but nothing in the ascendancies prescribes spears.
Exactly. So effectively, we take great pains to make sure that the ascendancies never mention weapon types. That there's like that they're always generalized. So, for example, the like infusion mechanic in the Amazon, it just says projectiles. It doesn't say spears, and the reason it does that is so that you could make an Amazon who is a bow user. And that's
I think that's so you can't see the game.
Yeah, like it's effectively like
it's
open-ended. And honestly, like I know that
how about that?
Like does like it makes the constraints a lot harder for how to design an ascendancy class. If you think about it that way.
Oh, it'd be much easier to just put a bunch of cool spear stuff in there. But now only really, I mean, it was similar to the original PoE 1 Saboteur.
I'm the Dragon Seeker.
So if you're trapping my character, what are you doing? Well, that you could do something else, but no one else is playing.
That better? There you go. You got it. You got it.
It is easier to design. It is certainly less flexible.
I didn't know what you guys are mostly interested in.
Play in the different combinations and all that. So yeah.
If you're mostly interested in just watching me kill stuff,
how much do you
wow,
have
sure,
the
sounds good.
The different weapons and the skills and how they interact together when you're originally designing them, or is there just literally so many?
But you guys get your PoE 2 drops this way as well.
I mean, I think it is relatively impossible to come up with everything, but certainly we have to consider, like, you know, is this going to be broken with anything else in particular? And there just has to be certain rules for things about, like, you know, how easy is it to apply this debuff, how easy it is to consume this debuff. And even then, it's like, you know, we often make mistakes and have issues. So
I'm looking forward to playing it though.
I mean,
when he says
you do care for the leveling? Do you really? You like the leveling content? Good. You're in luck.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but even just looking at the balance pass we're doing at the moment, right? I mean, there's hundreds and
I might be able to probably. I mean, absolutely get level 70 today if we wanted to. Then I might just send him gear from my main though, like send him honor.
Never honestly understand.
Then next week he'll be able to get like 4 set, full gear. Pretty fun.
You know, like on seeing reports on what people are doing on some level, right?
Give us something to do.
But then I think that what will happen over time is that obviously, like, you know, the game's still relatively new. We're still making relatively big changes. Over time, the balance I think will get to the
Should be fun.
we no longer have these like crazy outliers.
This is the warrior on DARKSPEAR, yeah. But my original warrior is the guy that I've been playing the whole time on Sargeras.
Parody, what I mean is like, you know, people playing all the different classes rather than focusing.
It'll be fun to make this guy because I have level 70 characters on Sarg and Tyke already, but I'm like,
because, you know, there's certain broken things.
This guy will take like a second to level, and then I can have the name Bajheera, and I have him on DARKSPEAR, which is kind of fun. It's just kind of cool, huh? How easy can a warrior kill a mage? Well, it probably usually takes a while.
This patch. Release was
So I
always
feel like the mage just kind of like stands there and takes it. Maybe not.
The next one will have half that.
Maybe slice him up.
And probably eventually it's going to be down to like here's only a few things going. You know,
But mages are pretty tough to pin down sometimes.
Because we add too much content for it to even be controlled.
Yeah, I have my Horde Warriors on Tyke. We'll see how it goes.
Too many uniques,
All I need is one Jewel Crafter.
Too many other changes for any
Probably shouldn't be too hard.
Like, you're talking about a matter of you'd have to put in like thousands and thousands.
One single Jewel Crafter who can make rings. Make PvP rings.
So many people it's going to take literally. So it is. It's
I could level it up my dang self if I had to, but
get to that level of testing.
Probably can find one person out there who can make PvP rings.
Especially, you know,
I kind of like these graphics this way.
All of that, and other people being able to see it and discuss it.
If they wanted to.
We're just going to be able to iterate.
I think that they do update the graphics over time, though, right? It definitely looks different than it used to nowadays.
Substantial change in
but yeah.
What's going to happen here? Yeah.
Thanks for making the broken builds.
I kind of like the fact that the graphics are like a little bit stylized.
I mean, you mentioned support gems. It's like,
I don't know if I like the ultra realism for a game like WoW.
It's already like so many, and with you doing a different.
But they are continually updating stuff, which is cool.
It's gonna be a lot by the time we're done. But there kind of has to be, right? Because
that's what you made it. You made this system that you need so many supports to support.
You do.
Otherwise, it's not going to work. Like, especially with this one support system. It's like, done.
Well, I mean, this is why we have recommendations. Hopefully, we can improve those as well.
Sliced.
We need to get that better. You know, like,
yeah, I agree, Chronicle.
There's certainly room for the complexity to get a little bit out of control here. So the recommendeds are going to become more and more important.
It's got a nice style. I like it.
Make sure those are very much right.
You must be looking to players even to find.
Yeah, we are definitely getting some quick levels in this zone, aren't we?
Though, is that they can't really take into account what you've already got on the gem. So the recommendations
definitely.
Are just sort of generally good, but not really take into account combos. You know, that kind of means they're a bit more simple. Like the recommendations are going to be more simple than what.
Get them out of here.
The recommendation system. It's like, well, I'm kind of doing bleed stuff, so you go to the sub menu for bleed recommendations.
I'm less certain about that because I kind of don't want to get into the thing of actually telling you what your build should be.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little different, little bit different there.
Maybe like some more sorting methods.
But if they are getting a lot of new bleed stuff, that's something I want to do. Sounds fun.
There's a lot that are only in there that I never recommend.
I like bleed builds.
Yes, there are.
In action RPGs, at least.
Interesting challenge you guys have set yourselves to make enough supports there. So,
how much of an XP boost do you get for PvP mode?
Managed to challenge that you set yourselves, and I always wondered, like, why did you do this to yourselves with Spectres? So, originally those were planned to be in for
Is it pretty good?
Spectres are a whole can of worms. So it's, well, hey, let's just give players access to every monster. Also, we've made so many new monsters.
Yeah,
it's in here.
Talking about all the broken, there's going to be some broken in there, I promise you.
These are rare?
You know, they've done, but I mean, effectively, what the time between early access was like, okay, let's actually attempt at least.
A little tamed eagle, 10% XP. That's kind of a lot.
If there's anything that's going to be a problem.
I have to go to Valdraken for that.
Count all those support gems on all those monsters.
Yes. Well,
probably wouldn't take too long to get there.
The support gems work. The support gems.
Maybe we will, dude.
And you know, like, what the hell is that going to do? Yeah, like, it's impossible to completely know. But yeah, like, look, there's probably definitely.
Maybe we will.
Definitely some dark secrets lying in what kind of Spectre mixed with support gems are going to do.
And monsters have skills now. It's not like PoE 1 where it's like just a bunch of zombies just doing cool. Everything pretty much has a skill now at this point.
Like,
but you know, the great thing about it is,
can you have like a drowning orb Spectre and then your mob, your pet just one shots bosses and stuff? Like, just drowns the bosses? That's crazy. I think Fury and Arms are both pretty good right now. My plan is to make this guy an Arms Warrior primarily, though, I think.
So you know, we'll see what happens there.
I've done nice specific player versions of those.
We'll see.
Specifically when you,
because he can get 4-set pretty quick.
Spamming skills in your hideout and all of that.
Good.
We'll see though, huh?
But also, like, there actually are player versions of the mods that Res can get, like, so that we can.
We'll see. We'll see.
Because some of that stuff would be ridiculous if you.
I'm pretty sure I want to play this guy as Arms.
It mostly works the same way, but there will just be numbers tweaked to the player versions, and the same works as well for the what do you call it? The ritual sacrifice.
But it'd be easy to play him as Fury as well.
So, yeah, player versions of the monster mods for that.
Yeah, this
it'd be easy enough. The only thing is, like, if I want to play Fury, then I don't want to get 4-set. But I could always make another warrior and have them be my Fury warrior. Because my main, like I was saying, kind of my gear got kind of messed up a little bit.
We also have
Yo.
player versions too, but actually, Not to necessarily make things worse, to make things better, because
you do get bonus honor for defending.
Monsters are balanced to fight player life and monster life, not in the same universe. So, actually, what we've done is all the
but I think I know what you mean.
That are monsters and monster skills, like the explosions and the summoning bears and all that. We've actually specifically balanced them way up to be more effective against monster. So when you steal them, they're much more powerful, actually.
Interesting.
Just so they're not just tickling monsters and doing
what was that noise?
Their life kind of thing.
It was mentioned in chat actually, the whole like Asmeri modifier.
Yeah, we're leveling one level every 3 minutes at this point. It's pretty good pace.
Surely.
Pretty good pace.
We actually had to, because this is certainly a benefit. Once you have tamed the beast,
there we go.
It is not tradable. And people might immediately be like, oh, so that's sad. Well,
I'm glad you found your class, bro.
As much as you might want some of that, I'm sure you don't want to be carrying around a whole bunch of tame beasts in your inventory all the time.
That's good. So that I think you are objectively wrong, though. That's okay.
You have to go and
there's a rumor that finding a rail kind of thing. Yes, exactly.
It's actually like this.
I think you are objectively wrong, but that's fine.
Constantly thinking about and carrying around tame
but then we also made it so that as soon as you activate,
you found your class, that's good.
Then no one who comes into the
as a rogue enjoyer. Rogues are good.
It's like a whole,
but I don't know if a class that primarily deals in stealth would really might be the true Giga Chad class, you know what I mean?
But it is like, I'm not
I didn't even
yeah, know what I mean?
Like,
yeah, you get drops on
exactly,
on Twitch for the PoE thing.
You have to be so careful. And the thing
we'll hang out here.
Like we designed this thing and then,
listen to the stuff. The actual announcement sounded really cool though.
Reality actually, what it will turn into. It's like but yeah, at least
I liked what I was seeing.
That kind of thing, like with more experience that we have now, early. So
I didn't save my YouTube upload for today. Maybe I could do.
Yeah.
Another one. We'll see.
I'm glad we've learned from past issues with that sort of trading.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Doesn't really matter that much.
So talking about some of the other new skills, we have the addition of the Roa, which was quite some time ago, I think.
Yes.
But you've got it in and working now, and it looks like it's moving around pretty good.
Yes.
It's obviously. You've got like a big downside. If you get knocked off at heavy stun and stuff, you can't use melee from it, so it's for ranged attacks.
Yeah.
But it does seem like one of those things that it's going to be like everyone's going to use or no one's going to use because it's a clear speed machine.
It is a concern. I mean, look, my ideal situation is that you're using it sometimes and not using it other times. Like, if you're using it like during clear, I think it will, like you will definitely want to. But we want to just make sure that we've got like sort of fun things like that. And like it's just a cool fantasy. Like there's stuff like that I just want to get in, and it's like look, if it doesn't work later, if we have to nerf it, I mean sure, I suppose. But
is the weapon actually called spear? Or are they calling it javelin?
So we believe that it is balanced as much as we can.
You sound very confused.
It's balanced.
As I said earlier, you can probably get builds that get to the point of carrying indefinitely. So that means you can probably get to the point of
Sure.
Again, enough evasion and enough
stagger
speaking into and all of that.
Well, fundamental question actually. Like, what's its move speed based on? Its own move speed?
The move speed is just your move speed. Like but it's what you don't get is the penalty for when you attack. So that's the thing. But it's funny though because like even though it doesn't have a move speed bonus, it feels like you're motoring when you're using it just because of the fact you don't get that downside anymore. Like you feel like the fastest thing on the planet.
That's funny.
when you're doing it.
I will probably not be riding a Roa.
Benefits like it's considered a companion, which is a kind of subclass of minion that.
I don't think we're riding a Roa.
One companion.
Now these guys count as
you can only have one of each.
Bonus objectives, so you get extra XP for them too.
And a Roa with the keystone.
Cool.
But inherently you can only have one companion.
Right, so you can't use a tamed beast if you're using the Roa.
Apparently I didn't have these yet or something.
There are heaps of passives for like if you have a companion.
It's kind of cool.
Companions while they're in your presence and all that kind of stuff. Heaps of that stuff around the bottom.
Yeah, I
interesting.
Saw you guys remade the minion damage. Is player damage node on the tree. It's companion damage nodes become player damage nodes. I was like, oh, that looks like I'm gonna take that.
Well, that's the like companion where it's like more mercenary over to ranger.
Yeah, what do you guys think I should do with this warrior?
Yeah, you want your one.
I was planning to make him my arms guy, but now I'm thinking about it. Like, I don't know, maybe we should do Fury. Shoot.
So so since it is a companion, I like the idea of like balance-wise, maybe it ends up
shoot
map clearing on back.
I think I can play my main as Fury. It'd be just
and then,
fine.
You get to the boss and you dismount like, you know, old school mounting.
Well, the only problem with that is, again, I can't really play Fury in my main. Because I'll be forced to play 4-set, which I think is actually worse than just 2-set and verse for PvP.
Yeah, because then you gain access to your dodge roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Tricky.
And does the roller then kind of do a bit when you're not on it?
It can attack, but it's
Tough.
not exactly a huge damage source or anything.
It's certainly better to stay at ranged. It's not the most.
We could play Queequeg. She's level 77.
But it acts as a distraction.
I think you should sub to the stream too, while we're sharing just things that we think each other should do. Yeah, we might have to boost up Miss Bash Queequeg.
Sacrificial bird.
I'll think about it.
So that sounds.
I'll think about it, dude. I am kind of in a bit of an arms mood though recently.
So how many are you aiming for?
Thankfully, leveling takes like 2 seconds, so I could very easily level up, you know, one of my other level 70 warriors, either the Tichondrius or the Sargeras warrior.
So that was the eventual goal. One of the things
wouldn't take too long, right?
Sort of a problem in early access is that because of the way, like, because when we were designing,
wouldn't take too long.
we kind of designed.
Yes, with Flex, yeah, can you just hit the sub? That'd be sweet, man.
Base type up, just literally because that's the
always down to hit you with it.
It's like we ended up with all the low-level uniques first, kind of before the. It was kind of. It's like we didn't see that mistake coming. Like it was kind of stupid because
we thought we'd get.
Yeah, we thought we'd get through them all, right? We were like, okay, we'll get all the uniques, and so we designed them all. It's like, okay, we'll start working on the art, just go down the list. So then we're like, oh crap, you know, now we don't have very many in-game uniques. So yeah, this time we're like, okay, we really need to make sure that uniques are a thing. There's way more of them. So the focus.
You can always use PayPal if you prefer Chronicle, if you're trying to show some love but don't want to necessarily support Amazon, I guess.
Chase things that you can get. You know, it's not.
You discovered this.
If you wanted to, you don't have to. But
Yeah,
if you want to.
It does help.
Go for it, brother.
So yeah, effectively, yeah, like you should. This should be a lot better. And like,
also have membership available on YouTube.
Keep going with that.
Yeah,
by the way,
of course.
How many of those bottles are drinking a day? I don't know. I just sip one out through it today. I'm not sure. I don't think it's more than one entire container. I doubt it.
Especially anyone familiar with Path of Exile 1's history, is every single expansion since the dawn of time has had new uniques added to it. So, you know, there's.
Oh, it's just giving me junk. Oh no, I don't want this. It's a Warbound, so I could get rid of it, I guess.
Idea of like players seeing a unique and be like, ah, 1x. Yeah, that's not very good. Where do you guys? What do you guys want unique?
All right, so did we complete the Onaran?
How powerful should they be? What should they be aimed for?
Quest line?
How should they affect the rares and that stuff?
I mean,
gotta watch the dialogue.
We want rares to still matter.
That's fine, Chronicle. I'm just saying. Like, if it's an Amazon issue, you have other options. You're good, bro. Just availing you of your options.
At the start of the game, they're really supposed to be more about.
Oh, good. Trying to use yen? What the heck?
One of them is when
you're like VPNing in from somewhere or something?
For a little while. Yeah. But then also they have a some kind of combo thing that you might be able to do with them at in-game. But we don't always know exactly what that might be. Like, I mean, we've got sort of ideas, obviously, but it's like. We don't necessarily
bunch of crit,
say,
sure.
Okay, this unique definitely has like an in-game build that's going to be actually strong to do with it.
Why is it sorting my bag such a weird way?
Where, you know, later on, some other mechanic might come along or something might happen, and then people find an interesting interaction, and that's when the unique kind of comes into its own. And I mean, that's the same as like magic card design philosophy, that kind of stuff. You just put in like kind of weird stuff and sort of maybe find something. But
what's going on?
Obviously, it can mean that like, you know, when people see a new unique, they might they dismiss it. But then one day they might also be paying vast amounts for it. If
whatever.
It was a meta build. So you know,
that'd be sick though, man.
I feel like a game has to have.
Love to have you board Hourglass.
In order to feel like there's lots of interesting
experience earned increased by 25%. Whoa.
Being the first person to discover some new interaction
what the heck?
is an amazing thing. And
what's that from?
See something that like feels smart, and it's like, you know, like you if we don't have uniques
like that, the transform. Oh, that's cool.
We'll never have that kind of stuff happen. Yeah. So you know,
when we design
what's up, Ms. Bean?
Think about what's the value going to be. Yeah. We're not even coming out of it going like this is going to be really expensive or this is going to be really cheap.
Well, in some cases, you know.
Ms. Bean.
You knew what you were doing with that Herald unique.
More of the charm. But that's the thing. Are you aiming for the?
Yeah, what the heck, bro?
Honestly, someone said the other day they were like, a successful unique is one that should be divisive, and I was like, I agree.
Ms. Beanie Weenies.
Not every unique should feel that. Some should just be clearly this is powerful, I want it for sure, it is going to be on my build. And others are like, what can I do with this now? And then others are just like, we don't know if anyone's going to do anything with this, throw it in. And sometimes it doesn't get anything happen with it for 3 years. But we don't know that necessarily. It's like, let's just take an experiment and throw it in there and let.
And that, I can respect that.
I feel like you're with a lot of these uniques you design.
Poor beanie weenies.
Like, I'm gonna put something that's a little weird. Maybe someone will think about it.
Well, I think it's very called it. It's a puzzle piece, right?
Yeah.
Or nay.
Just a piece in the puzzle. You put it there, and maybe someone will complete the puzzle, half of it. Maybe not. And then others where it's just like, yeah, this is powerful. Like,
I mean, there are definitely
mop these dudes up.
Yeah, 100%.
So on chasing,
res this dude up.
Like pretty crazy ones.
We look for the vaults PvP here. You don't get a vault for PvP.
In terms of like how hard they are to get.
Now what I did do is I ran LFR to get my like tier gear just a little bit earlier.
So if there's unique that's broken, I guess
instead of waiting for Catalyst. And so then I got the helmet, and I wanted to put a socket on the helmet, so I needed a PvE socket to put it on there. So we, I wanted a socket out of the vault. That's what I did.
And the other response would be,
got myself a socket.
Honestly, it's a case by case. Like, you know, so I think that, like Temporalis, for example,
I do want to put this on there.
Nerfed in both ways. The actual unique was nerfed a little bit, I believe, although I don't believe this is maybe as much of what players might expect. But then also, but also,
dude, I think it is kind of.
It's still pretty crazy.
Oh,
I think it is kind of like synced
but
up.
The thing is, like, you want to chase stuff, right?
To try to give you one level in one zone, I think.
So therefore, that one becoming rarer, I think was.
It is looking like that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
It's way too common. Just due to the.
We had also the issues where
we might not even do a whole zone before I get a level at this point.
I mean, there are 3 real issues. One is darkness at one point bypassed honor loss, so all of a sudden no hit run.
We have to listen to the discussion, so I'm gonna go up here real quick.
You had guard bypass honor loss, so once again a no hit run is not a no hit run, and then there was just like, well, how can anything hit you if you can kill literally everything on your screen in 1 frame, right? So those 3 problems, and so as the balance issue of not everything surviving for more than 1 frame due to a subset of builds, and those other 2 things go away, it becomes a lot rarer in itself. In that it is much harder to acquire, require like very specific and ideally high skill gameplay. And then there's just like, well, it also was just too common, the relic, that yielded it.
I mean, the expectation was that, oh, because this is a hard challenge, most of the time when people try, they will fail. The reality is, once you get the ability to do it, you just trade for that thing and get it every time. So that's kind of meant that the rarity kind of didn't work like we thought. Now that should be better in both.
Like again, for the PoE 1 players comparison, like it was far more common than Original Sin. Which was the same role in PoE 1's version of the Sanctum, just to give us some sort of comparison.
It's just much easier to actually reliably do it.
And it shouldn't have been that much more common.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. So crafting really surprised me. You guys announced, I thought we'd maybe get like 1 little thing, maybe you'd do something with essences or something, but we've got essences coming out a lot more, it looks like. You've got, because you're violent, you can
greater essences are going to be much easier to get. One thing we didn't mention in the video is that like omens are way more common, because I believe you made the change. There's an omen in every
2.5 times more common, I think.
Yeah, than every thing. So like you've got
interesting.
We certainly knew that we needed to do more with.
Paul, tell me so about the one zone thing. Yeah, you're right.
You know, 3 or 4 things, like new things.
Right. Good thing we picked Onaran.
Ritual will now have at least one omen in the window.
I like Onaran planes.
Upon finishing a ritual, you're like, what is the omen I'm going to get, and hope it's a good one. Love it. Maybe most often it's not.
24% haste for both arms and fury.
Obviously, yeah, the Varlord thing makes it much
maybe.
Sources of them with the
yeah, my gear will be the same, but you get a lot more haste from Enrage as Fury.
Things like the runes, we've got higher level mods that you can get.
But yeah, you can do more haste or less if you prefer, but I like more haste as both right now.
Having the kind of like the niche mods that you can get and craft on things, like it just needs more options.
Feels good for both, I think.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. Because,
I'm a haste enjoyer, though.
Some people say, "Oh, you don't have crafting in PoE 2 because we don't have a crafting bench." But it's like we actually have a huge number of crafting options, and the crafting being good kind of comes down to like how many of these kind of weird systems are there and how they can.
What are we doing here?
But we just have to be really careful because
our defenses.
You don't want to get to the point where ground items no longer matter. Like and I think PoE 1 kind of basically did get to that point for various reasons, where like people aren't caring what's on the ground nearly as much. So we still want to make
They
sure
want to get rid of that.
They still use the ground stuff. That you're still excited for things on the ground, like, and so that's like a really
What's this
careful
about?
balancing act because they do directly contravene each other. Like the better stuff you can craft, the less important the ground stuff is. So you kind of, it's a really sort of subtle balancing act. But yeah, I think that the stuff we've added here will.
Have we not done that yet already?
If you feel like there's more smart.
This particular quest.
To kind of improve your stuff.
Yeah, well, I think done
not
right,
doing it.
What you're doing is making sure that the ground items do matter.
I think we're doing
with
this
each of
either.
these crafting systems. So you had that fundamental change where you can't just turn an item back into a white item.
Exactly, and that's very important. One of the biggest ones, I think, and that kind of then unlocks the ability to do more. And so the great thing about the socketables as a crafting system
forced me to
is that they
sell
don't
it
compromise
this.
the ground at all because they don't, they're on top of the stuff that you can get on the ground. So that's
oh, this is an
when it
agility
comes to
trinket.
kind of the base mods, we do want to retain, like that an item has. We do want to retain for the most part the kind of thing of like that part of the item generation is random. It's just that, and it's just that on top of that you get the more deterministic things that you can add in addition to, and then when you do it that way, it works really well. So socketables work really well.
Oh my gosh, I gotta talk to so many people.
Well, so on that topic, we've had this. Talking to you is like you're always saying to me that like this rune system is our crafting bench, but players don't keep asking for a bench anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously there's like a branding.
We're not quite there.
So it is funny because I was actually saying the other day that like if we had literally had that system be identical, except that the way it was themed was that there's a crafting bench
Why do we do that?
and craft extra mods on the items, like it would literally be functionally the same.
I can fly now.
And
Don't need that.
materials that are effectively the runes that you get. Like then I feel like people would be thinking that we've got a crafting bench. But yeah, ultimately that is that the rune system, the socketables are what replaced the crafting bench in the PoE 1 style crafting bench.
We're getting there, boys. Then we got to go do War Within stuff. Which really probably shouldn't be too bad, huh?
Not as many options as
100% as well. So that is the issue, and that's because they.
I think that also should be pretty chill.
So now we're just sort of expanding that. And we'll
Is my arms wearing an orc? No, this guy is human. All my warriors are probably gonna be gnome. I don't think I want to play without being able to get a roots as a gnome right now. Even though I don't really like being a gnome that much, I think you kind of have to do it, man.
You don't want to put in the base mod pool because then you end up this sort of situation where you get items that got random shit you don't care about. Like crafting is where you want to have all of the kind of stuff that's like very build specific.
Yeah.
And so adding more mods to that pool so that you can do that is the right idea.
Why is it that you can't socket and rune some things? Like
non-attack weapons,
well,
it was more just a choice for asymmetry where we just wanted these things to feel different. There was also just like a little bit of a like, in the future we'll add some system where we can do something else there, and so just not having everything be completely identical. Much like how the quality on those weapons works.
All right, now we just spy on these guys.
As opposed to just
horrible looking transmog.
I do think it is something.
Oh, sorry. Gnomes look horrible in transmog. I don't like being a gnome aesthetically. Oh, I don't. But the thing is, like, City and Roots is worse.
Maybe we'll add an Arcanist's Beach and theme it that way for the
It's not like that big of a deal sometimes, but then other times it's like really a big deal.
Cohesive, all-in-one bench for disenchanting, salvaging, selling for gold. Arcanist bench.
So I've kind of played human before. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could do it again, but
like at endgame,
it does feel kind of bad.
You're not happy enough with them just being next to each other, putting them next to each other.
It's tough, dude.
I'll think about that one.
Okay, good.
This might be my level 70 quest right here. Explain how gnomes work. Well, so their racial combo is the main one is being able to get roots, but they also give you like 1% haste and 5 extra rage, like extra max rage. So all their racials are actually pretty dang good. The problem, like the trade-off, is you have to look like a gnome. This tiny little creature that's going like, yeah, like all the time. It's just like, oh my gosh. But all their actual racials that they give you are really good for warrior. So the main one though is their active one that gets you out of roots. That's the main one. That's like why you really play a gnome. Just the other stuff about them, like the other racial stuff, is actually also really good. Like I said, just like if you don't like the aesthetic of a gnome, which I don't really prefer, then it's kind of like, oh man. But your name has nomadic in it, so maybe you'll be okay with it.
getting to the Nexus. Those are the ones that have been.
Oh, we got XP just from killing stuff. All right.
Am I going to beeline straight for the Nexus?
We made it.
And then cleanse everything, or am I going to just fight the walls corrupted to get the rewards from that? You're kind of choosing one reward or the other based on.
Oh crap!
Okay, so you can kind of leave the Nexus for last if you want.
I deleted the scroll that gives me the Silithus thing.
Oh no, it's the other way around. So
do I need that though?
First, then it cleanses all the maps, and then now you can get the most chance at fractured orbs, or you can.
Oh no, I got one now.
Before going to the Nexus, if you want to get the rewards.
Give me like multiple of them.
We have like for example, the corrupted bosses have their own uniques now.
Yeah, so you're gonna want that.
There's a bunch of new modifiers and how they.
All right, good stuff.
Strongbox kind of things and all of that.
Thanks,
stuff.
Dragonflight.
Kind of really are like I'm gonna have a look at the mods. I like this. I'm gonna do this, then this, then this, then the Nexus, and then I'm gonna do the rest cleansed.
Does the cleansed boss have its own uniques as well?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It does have.
All right, Zygor.
It
new
guarantees
guide.
a fractured orb though as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so you can get the
leveling.
So and you'll display
or within
the map, and it says like contains
story campaign.
His name. Then you run it and kill it, you will get a fractured orb. So at least you will know that will drop one.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
So, with the fractured orbs being away fractured.
Very important to avoid accepting quests. Okay, I'll try not to.
Are there any fractured items dropping pre-fractured? I like that.
I think we went with no in the end. Yeah, we were going to do it, but then we decided not to. But we might do it later.
All right.
Yeah. So next round on. Is there a particular reason for it or thought process? For that?
There just kind of wasn't anything that really fit that exactly.
I think it's okay to skip them, right?
You'll want some new thing to
yeah,
go
probably.
In that, like this
personally, I would rather just drop more orbs. Honestly, and let people choose how they want to use them.
I like it from the perspective of dropped items matter. Like when you're seeing a rare,
they kind of already do. They kind of do here anyway.
I actually am not able to click the scouting map.
Because you need that as the thing of the fracture. So it's kind of
it's over here.
I think.
There's other little subtle things like for
example, what do you guys want to do first? Just good old Dorn?
Within cleansed maps.
Do you think not playing Gnome could hold you back from Gladiator? Not Gladiator, no.
See they dropping things
no.
Waystones, tablets, currency.
Thought you could choose racial PP. That'd be sick if you could.
Any of the armor or anything. So they're more like currency sources.
Dorn's
like
good.
An interesting subtle thing.
If you want more currency, then
Dorn's chill.
You know? So we're gonna have a lot more essences, a lot more omens, potentially the ability to get fractured, recombination.
Dorn's chill.
New, more accessible at low and mid tier.
Design 4.0.
This is yes, recombination's certainly undergone some changes. This is a huge leap forwards compared to
interesting
one's crafting.
Sure.
So was it just about that you had to establish that really like humble baseline for
Let's
crafting,
see.
so that you could then go crazy with it like
honestly, I mean, look, on some level, it can just be like the. You need an economy.
See what we can do.
Evolve,
yeah, 100% second. Well, not 100% secondary stats. They give you a little bit extras. I think it's 1% secondary stats.
The initial system. It's like if we'd have had all that at the start, I think that we wouldn't have been like we'll put it this way.
2%.
It is hard to take the stuff away, so that's why we have to be a little bit careful as we.
So it's not useless.
Yeah, I guess
it's just
not
kind of that good.
Fundamental things like the no scours, the
whatever,
pulse, and stuff like that as well, because then you can have a better idea of how to build off that.
Whatever.
I'm super excited for crafting.
We'll get this guy going. It'll be fun.
There's always going to be more.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have a new.
Always hammer out some dungeons, but I think it's nice to level with Zygor. It's usually really smooth.
Thank you.
Something like that.
That's somewhat actually our intention. So.
Yeah.
I love it. Perfect. So let's talk about endgame then, because it had some origins as well with the initial.
Nice to have. I'll take a little break and just chill.
Obviously, things being a bit experimental, not necessarily between
my gear's gonna be really bad though. I think we'll be able to scoot by though, don't you think? Also, thanks for hanging out while we're watching the PoE stuff. If you happen to care, you are getting drops for this, so there's that.
And then that random shit. Like,
if I was gonna make a button for cleave, what would it even be? I don't know.
Together in like a scenario. So I mean, effectively, like, yeah, exactly, right. So it's like. If
I don't think I need cleave though.
Actually added here, like,
what drops? I mean, I'm honestly, I don't even know. I could look though. Let me see.
More than 40, probably something approaching 50 encounters.
Let me see what even is the drop.
Like, each rogue exile is a separate one, and each like
I don't know.
One, things like that, right? So those are the things. But the big difference between the ones we had before.
Let's see what is it? Let me look at
most of
the
these
stream.
Ones can overlap with other things. So you have a situation where you've got the as Mary was
getting Executioner's Finisher.
boss of the area, and then that leads.
Watch for 2 hours. Claim the drop.
Or then like you've got some essence thing that or like
that's kind of cool.
That,
did I get it?
Wisp caused the thing to turn into a boss that then it's just like it's all that stuff combining.
Have I claimed it? I don't know. I don't even know if I've claimed it yet.
It's like all that combining stuff, and that's what leads to the situation where you've got an exponential explosion.
Do I know if I have it yet?
Possible combat situations, and then sometimes you just run into stuff that you've never seen before because of that, because it does combine in some interesting way, and that's something that definitely PoE 1 has got very well because it's got so
sure. I feel like I should have it by now.
Time. And it's also something that we took care to make sure that you leave.
I think it's been 2 hours yet. Yeah, probably not. But I don't even see the progress bar. If you type exclamation mark drops in the chat, it'll show you your drops progress. Let me have a look.
More of that type of stuff that we needed to do, and honestly, I don't think we've even got enough yet. Like we want even more. Like we'll keep on adding that stuff, but it needed to become a focus. And I think part of the reason is that like when we're first working on the end game, it's right. It's like we need to come up with the big ticket items, right? Like
whatever. We'll just chill for a second and see if it works.
Like maps and we need to come up with all that stuff, and so
80% nice.
It's the little detaily kind of.
We're getting there then.
Kind of a little bit, require a bit more like time and stuff to work on. Even though they're actually relatively efficient to make.
Nice.
We can make a lot of them when we do actually sit down and design them, because they're like making a new strongbox. Like, sure, it's work, but it doesn't take like that long, if you know what I mean. But it is
nice.
But it is that stuff that really adds all the flavor and kind of interest.
You like that one, Dalton? Nice. Bad day to be awake, bro.
We're having a conversation about like
bad day to be awake.
Even just like regular maps have more
good stuff, man.
Little things that happen in them and stuff like that. Like more like what the campaign has.
Glad you like it, bro.
So we haven't got there yet, but through early access we'll definitely be.
J Marky in the chat.
Of those little details everywhere, so that you get the.
That's all him right there, bro.
So a bit like those explosion.
100%, yeah, exactly. That's just we just want to make sure that we feel that same.
It's speared.
And with the leagues as well, and like. There's really only so much randomness that can occur within a breach in a map, so they end up feeling ultra-repetitive. Whereas,
rip them up.
Again, in PoE 1, you have the boss that can spawn occasionally, and 5 different factions, things like that.
Yeah, this guy definitely could be a. It could be a Fury Warrior, but I don't think we're gonna go arms with him.
Mini bosses spawning, whatever else. I have a whole set.
That'll be good.
Yet, but definitely want to expand on all that.
That'll be good.
Even. Expedition only has the one boss. It had 4 in the predecessor. Like we need to get back to having all of that depth and of combat and all of those mechanics.
Fury would be sick too, though, because you have all the extra, the secondary stats, including the secondary stats from your second weapon is Fury, right? Kind of crazy. Happens if you don't happen to get 100 before the stream ends. I don't know.
I think it's like it is where our type of design shines.
I mean, I'll be on.
Adding content is no longer a
hopefully, time for you to get the drop.
And then the players get to play.
I want to get mine too.
It gets into a situation where like adding content is more value than just the content itself.
But you could always go like if my stream ends, then you could always go over to the Path of Exile one.
It's like larger in much larger proportion than what you have.
Maybe even another stream that's streaming Path of Exile 2 could still get it at the end. I'm not sure. But I'm hoping that I get it too.
Feel like it's ramping up in terms of interest as we have more content.
The Executioner's finisher seems kind of cool, huh?
Rather than every league thing like you just add the same amount, it'll feel like it gets even bigger each time.
Yeah, when you add Asmiri Wisps.
Get off of me.
So that's tackling one of the ultimately I think the biggest things. Just that the core tick mapping of running an empty map was boring, and that's never what you want to be, obviously.
Let's see.
Some of the issues there, I guess, as well, that were
exacerbated
by that problem was the fact that the maps were so big and that there were so many of them. Obviously, that's getting a lot better with the maps themselves becoming much more interesting.
We got the polymorphed guy.
It seems like this corruption and cleansing mechanic is breaking up and giving you something to progress.
I thought we did at least.
As you move towards the next.
Let me kill this one. See what happens.
Boss, next other mechanic. I mean, I guess there's always something on your screen pushing towards the side.
Well, we want to try and.
Now I'm gonna be able to get my my hero talents too. That'll be nice.
So that you feel like quests, as it were, in game. Like, not necessarily directly in the form of like, here is a quest objective, but like that you sort of have this feeling of like, there's like different stuff that you're like that.
Is this dude?
Like, there's a thing, you know, like exactly right. You need to ideally, like every time you do one of those, it's like there's another one just on the horizon that you're thinking about. So yeah, if we can achieve that, then we'll have succeeded.
There you go, brother.
Need to keep adding stuff, right? Like just more and more things, because obviously, you know, you need to have enough just core there.
Who else requires some assistance?
It doesn't feel like you're just repeating the same thing over and over again as well.
It seemed like this like explorable world map thing that you did for Endgame, it being like looking like a physical actual map.
I do like that world map thing. That's cool.
That wasn't really much of that, so.
I got the guy to the sheep.
Well, I mean, ideally we can. It's just about content really at that point. You know,
promise. What this one?
Keep on adding more. This. Yeah, and 0 to 0, I think there's a long way to improve.
There we
go. With the corruption mechanic now, you're going to see some corruption on the map, and you can go there because it's a system that you can interact with.
Exactly.
It's your skill points.
Yes.
So you're
not too bad.
From that, which means you're unlocking more of the Atlas tree earlier on.
Your first Nexus, you have to run into
Get this guy out of here.
And it will drop 2 skill points. It'll give you your first 2 skill points. And then you're like, alright, where's my next Nexus? That's where I'm going for my next 2. And then your next one, and then you have to do them
light them up.
Every time.
Yeah.
Second one, you do it tier 2 to get your skill points and so on and so forth. And
I think when I came through the first time on my character, I actually had like enough damage to chunk this guy.
So yeah, it is very much like, let's go and clear these corrupted Nexus. And then it's like, well, then there's the whole mechanic around it. But yeah, if you want to just like, I want to get my points as fast as possible, just go Nexus to Nexus to Nexus, and get as many as you can. If you're like, oh, I can't see any Nexus, maybe go to a tower, reveal more, and then, you know,
the PoE endgame stuff does sound cool though.
Yes.
What's happening? I'm bringing my warrior who now lives on DARKSPEAR. Bringing him up a little bit.
Should be seeing a pretty decent chunk of unique maps.
Gotta get an alt going, just for fun.
It's funny because I was pointing out to Matt the other day the distinction between a unique map and a
just for fun.
We shouldn't even look at it that way. Like it should be that every map is like unique in some sense.
There's not a unique.
You know, there's not a unique
map. We do have an icon for it because they are kind of in a different echelon.
Take me to Dornegal.
Yes, technically, unique map is a name.
Even is better than Orc for arms. I don't know. Orc is pretty good.
Use mods with them with Wastelands anyway, so it doesn't. There's no actual reason.
Stun reduction and then the like Blood Fury. That's pretty cool.
How rare they are relative to other things, right?
Pretty good combo, truly.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I don't see the percentage on that's dropped from me for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, look, as I said, I think
how many screens?
I do kind of want it though.
I had the numbers, I just don't remember them.
Well, I mean, as I said, they should be common enough that you feel like there's always some kind of objective you're excited about on the screen, right?
Honestly,
just gotta scroll down a little bit more or something.
I was initially comfortable with, and then after trying it, I was like, okay, actually, this is like, this is.
Oh, there it goes. 77% apparently. Okay.
You initially probably want them to be
interesting,
common enough that you're like almost getting tired of those map layouts, so then you're incentivized to add more.
The good thing is, by the way, by adding more here, we didn't just keep them the same commonality as the 2.
Gotcha. Okay, now I see it. I just had to scroll down a little bit.
It's not like part of the reason it wasn't as common before is because it was only 2, and that would have just been repetitive and boring.
All good.
One of the other restrictions.
Yeah, so the OG warrior is my guy that I've been playing this whole time. This guy, he lives on DARKSPEAR though now.
The Citadel biomes. That's like one of the rarest and latent, you know. So it's like we've not only made that more common within that biome, but a lot of the new ones, in fact, all of the new ones aren't restricted to those city biomes.
Let them rip.
Appearing more frequently, and some of them are like, you want deserts because they give you the essence map.
What is the announcement? Tons of new stuff, man. They got new class, new end game, a little bit of crafting updates, some ascendancies. So there's a whole bunch of new stuff.
There's that one node.
The PoE 2 early access. They're still working on content and infusing the game with it. And should be cool, yeah.
And so there's a little bit of like.
Should be cool.
And so does Untainted Paradise, and
so I am leveling a little bit while we're watching and listening.
Special maps that can spawn only in the water.
So they did their announcements, and now they're just kind of doing like a little talk, like a little Q&A. But we'll listen up.
Otherwise, how easy is it to find? You said there was an icon. Obviously, you kind of have
give you guys a place to get your PoE 2 drops if you're interested in that.
Oh, there's art there.
Yeah, so the one we looked at was
they're chilling today though.
Which had all the storm and lightning. Well, on the map has
we might do some more like WoW focused stuff tonight.
That's great.
But in the meantime, we'll do some of this.
The Atlas passage tree, and you're seemingly, I think, you're getting better
progression
of that. But definitely an issue I had with the person is that it felt very top heavy, both for the core one and also
I've been thinking about getting an alt going, and since we're like, you know, chilling pretty hard, I'm tired today.
Which to me feels like the end of
Thought today would be a good day for this.
That kind of was the original pitch of that. And, I wouldn't say
put a dent in his leveling. We could definitely level him like all the way up today if we wanted to, but we don't have to do it all at once. But we could.
To that side, but in terms of the actual core atlas, it definitely is. You know, like
the main thing is like we don't have like a timetable for this guy, but you get like all your gear. Almost.
Yep.
And your 4 set next week if you get 1600 at least. So pretty crazy. Quest level like tank dungeons. Oh, I might do dungeon stuff later. I'm only on for a couple more minutes right now, so I'll just do some quests, and plus I get to make use of my sponsor Zygor's guides. Get this thing going, you know.
They are like substantially less common at difficulty 0, but you feel way less bad for running them at that point now. Yeah. So again, it's just
kind of nice. Thanks though, man.
People to farm, and it's not so much dependent on if your build can't do difficulty 4. You're not really a viable character kind of mindset.
So
there you go.
Onboarding for those,
which will give you your first sets of points certainly a lot easier now. That being said, not if you're playing the most broken build of all.
Oh, I definitely actually want to get my profession trainers going.
So, with your new build, we'll have to see.
I do actually.
Yeah, well, yeah. One of those specs.
I want to go learn skinning immediately.
Point being, yeah,
you can queue with Horde now for normal stuff. I think you can now. Yeah.
Get those initial set of points easier than before.
You can.
However, yeah, you are right. Something isn't quite right there still, and I do need to kind of.
We are going to do more with this like later. We've talked about this issue, but we didn't have time to do anything about it in 020 as much. But certainly by the end of early access, I think that system will probably look quite different.
I can't even do world quests yet, can I?
Adding all those extra bits of content to the leagues.
Oh wait, I can't. Hold on.
More interest to the trees and more nodes we can add to actually invest into. Because
I can do world quests.
There's only so much you can.
That's a nice little XP boost, I bet, huh?
Right. There's a level of radius, speed, density of monsters.
Oh.
There's the standard stuff.
Yeah, come on in, bro.
You can only go so
get that WoW stuff going, get that Twitch stuff going. The combo. Perfect time for the return. I'll make that. I'm gonna go on my home, I suppose.
Like, you are quite limited in how expansive a tree can be, and so
there we go.
It'd be nice to get those things in, and
oh, looks like an hourglass.
At the same time and reevaluate how
looks good on you too.
We can have them be more interesting while we're at it.
What's up, freak? Tired a little bit today, truly, but we're doing all right. Doing all right. Getting another warrior going just for fun.
Yes, that was a good change. So yeah, as you were saying, you no longer gain experience or lose experience anymore from.
There we go.
So you could just feel free to do them anytime. Yeah, I think that's just a straight up upgrade.
I don't know if I want any other profession right now.
It's not like you were playing pinnacle bosses for experience. No. So yeah, the downside is
not sure.
Yeah.
It also is the nice thing of really just keeping like. If we add more leagues, for example, and we end up with a Domain of Timeless Conflict problem, where it's just like rotations to max level.
Yes, we don't want that type of content to be the way
now we can say like maps are the way you level, like that is what you're doing. And sure, you might get some sort of unique map rotation here and there, maybe not, I don't know, depends. But hopefully we can avoid that. But
tell me some other
time. It's just really you're playing in maps to level, and that's what you're doing. And there's something nice about that.
Content, right?
At least until we've added Delve.
It seems long past
well, sure.
Yes, add Delve.
There will be future parallel in-game systems.
Confirmed.
Do it.
I know you want to do something like Delve. Yeah.
Do it.
You're a fan. I mean, you made the end game look like Delve, so.
I love Delve.
Yeah, that's been a long-term problem, and one we need to properly apply to the other game as well. The whole,
bring back Delve.
Can't do my content because I got a level, and I'm like, even if you're only like 15% in.
I played in an RPG against you on stream, told me to get your Deathwish out of here. Yeah, get that out of here. A lot of people play Deathwish in RPGs though.
Hasn't been on our radar as much.
So I've seen that a lot.
So speaking of,
gotta take them out, man. Gotta take them out.
There's been some fundamental changes there. You're telling me that.
Pretty funny.
Now you can no longer drop.
It is fun though. Deathwish is fun.
That's correct. So yes, you no longer.
But it is risky. Start get hit with like 7 million chaos bolts. You know, chaos bolts and MM hunters, man. They put the pop on you.
Also smooth the way the whole progression works. So we've actually the map drops are way less random now entirely.
That is funny.
When you kill the last
get that Deathwish out of here.
That has a it can affect it at T1. That was 100%.
Can you do delves to level?
And then as you go up the tiers,
I wonder.
you can still sustain that using Waystone chance. So effectively, it's like it's de-randomized.
Can you even do delves at low level at all? Actually,
there are several ways
you can do this one.
So in terms of like getting
this is a fun time too. The beginning of this expansion. I was just thinking because you're just getting led into it. Yo, is Braun like leveled up though?
Up, 3 to 1 recipe to go up a level, or you can run a corrupted.
What if he
is? If
is?
you're running a corrupted map, then because it drops the same tier, that's like a sort of guaranteed. When I say corrupted, I mean the one that.
Is he jacked?
Yeah, corrupting up +1.
Okay, this looks a little bit. What is going on with this UI?
So you've kind of got those three options, but it's much more intentional now. It's like if you're going up maps, it's like you're deciding, okay, this is a thing I am doing. You don't just kind of have.
Dungeons better leveling than Delves, yeah, I bet.
So it's kind of supposed
to.
What
the heck is going on here?
Like if you're just
he could tank for me too.
That's pretty much guaranteed. And unless you're dying more than the number of times you've got portals, which is obviously the thing now that you can go through portals again,
what is happening with this UI?
But then it's like once you.
What did I do to bug this so bad?
You effectively can sustain forever. Like the cases where people.
I don't know if Braun could be a tank. I've never done that before. I'm gonna see what he does.
Ultimately, it's way less random, way more deterministic, and ultimately you can. As long as you are able to do the not die all the time, you will sustain that tier forever.
Right.
Assuming you can roll enough, a high enough mod count.
What?
And
That's weird.
There is a boss here. I'm gonna go up.
What's up, dude? You got 8 pieces today of PvP gear? Jeez.
And if you
and then you sustain that tier forever as long as you can do the difficulty.
Yeah.
It's
and if
just very
turbo farming.
And if you're adding more mods, which you do need to be doing.
Way to work. I'm hoping that I can get some gear pretty quick too here.
To go up tiers.
Here's to hoping.
Early, you're getting more maps than what other people are getting, which means you can do the cubing as well. Like it's just kind of like it just much more effectively gets the thing where good players can advance.
They don't have to bust people out.
Off the bottom of the curve, it kind of solves all of those issues like without. But also,
what is making that noise at me?
Hordes of low-level waystones that you don't need.
Is that one of the? It's one of the PvE add-ons. I don't want that.
No, it does. There are still. You can get to the highest tiers relatively.
Do not want.
You have to prove you're good enough. Your character's pretty good.
Is that one of them wigs?
It's pretty quick, and you can take it at your own leisure as well. That's completely fine. So it's not like, oh, we've made it way longer to get to tier 15. Like, none of that is really the case. It's just that before you could luck into getting to tier 15 quickly, with some level of, biasing.
One of them wigs. Let me do character edits for fun.
Just be like, what the heck? I'm like constantly running out and have a really bad time. And so now it's just way more like predictable and
I'm just running. Honestly, I don't care.
Probably has way more of an impact on the sustain problem. We didn't really, which we talked about with the respawning. I would argue this
gotta do what I gotta do.
Way more impact on map sustain than the respawning. I mean, obviously they're paired. They relate.
You need both because the guarantee
Hunter's OP.
From the final rare. So if you were just dying, you would never get it. So the respawning is necessary in order to make it so that that's going to happen for players who and
he yoinked them back. That's cool.
Like
Braun's dying though.
Start to get to the point where you're going to.
That's not good.
If you're a good player, you should be able to get up to the top and sustain.
You mentioned the idea.
That's not good.
Magic. Is that something you're still doing, or?
I believe it is. But no, actually, wait. But there wasn't a concern about that.
Braun, don't die. What the heck?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later because the concern was raised.
Are you going to be the least useful as a
so that maps drop magic
the tank?
There might be issues. So later on.
Well,
non-decided.
I might have to make him like a either like a DPS or healer or something.
Still figuring. It sounds like much more determined.
I do no damage.
Able to prove the power.
Okay, whatever.
It just shouldn't be. Am I strong enough to do this? Yes, I can do it.
Braun's just getting owned.
Am I lucky enough to do this? And am I strong enough?
Hey man.
Great. One of those axes.
Love it.
You might not have what it takes.
Rogue Exiles populating maps now. How common are these guys, especially with unique, since you get their unique guarantee? I love that.
It's 1 in 8%, 1 in 12.5 to start with, but of course Atlas Tree be Atlas Tree.
Okay,
so
we're out here.
Into that and,
is there like a map modifier for that or something to guarantee it? Or
yeah, I need to like change it. How do I change your spec, Braun?
This one is the exception, whereas you can get normally guaranteed of the other things. We wanted the Exiles to be one that you.
Because you are not cutting it as a tank right now.
They don't always have uniques.
Yeah.
But when they do, they're using them. The AI is very cool, like how it works.
I mean, they can have 0, 1, 2. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from having uniques and everything.
Did he say the AI is very troll?
It is.
There's a chance of that would be.
It
am I getting
is absurdly rare.
I assume it's just roll for slots.
Yeah, it is.
You're just shotgunning these guys.
Yeah.
But you might have a line of
fraction of a percent.
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
all of them.
Blast
Still
him.
like 5 or something like that. Yeah.
You can have them.
You don't think? Yeah, I see that.
Because they're.
I've never used them as a tank before.
The other gear is also relatively good, so they do generally.
We also don't have like a flame shooter, do we? Are we supposed to have a flame shooter?
Yeah, they doing that like full set of items because
they gave us this hook shot thing.
I always love that little thing. I feel like it's.
We still definitely stepping this stuff, bro. He's just dead all the time.
Some of those will be unique, maybe.
We wanted them to be less common than the other content, but like way more exhilarating when you find them. So you can speak into them.
DPS is usually pretty good.
Is there going to be some sort of like warning that they're coming, or are you going to know they're in the map ahead of time, or are you just going to get ambushed by these guys?
You won't know they're in the map ahead of time, much like anything random you run into.
But they talk though.
Is he just sort of like taking some time off here?
They do.
Don't know if I'd go quite the level of
when I said some insult you, I'm not joking. Like, some do literally insult you, and I believe one of the monks is a pacifist, and he's like, I don't want to do this. Don't force my hand. He'll do it anyway.
I'm just you're just like running away.
I'm getting roasted.
He's like, don't make me do
force my
this.
He's back.
Well, you can just run away.
I'm excited for Rogue Exiles. What they're talking about right now. That'll be fun.
I really like the
Pseudo PvP.
It's
kind of what it feels like.
They are relatively rare for that reason as well. But I do want to.
Here you go, Braun.
I
got some kind of totem powering me up. I'm not sure where that came from.
You still have your number of portals you have, so unless you're running a full 6 months waste time, just get back in.
He's a good boy, yeah.
Gone, but whatever.
He's a good boy. Unless you're talking about our cats.
I mean, you guys were somewhat forgiving. You didn't make it so that they took your
Got one beautiful baby boy, yep.
That would have been good.
That's an event.
Don't give me that idea.
Good boy.
That's maybe a 1-week event or something in the future.
Yeah, Braun is just chain dying.
Just take one of your items. Yeah. then you got the Nemesis system. You got to try and get it back in the future.
Yeah, the tame rogue exile
I don't tame's the word.
Higher exile. You run up and you can quickly be like, take 1 million gold.
Just give me a little snack. Like, hey, you wanna follow me?
I mean, to be fair, that would be a fun system.
It actually would. That's actually not a bad
running
idea.
up and just being like, hey, I'm here, give me 100,000 gold and I'll be your ally.
Right, there you go, buddy.
I know you've tinkered with the idea of a
Get through there.
system at points in the past, so now you've got your mercenary hireling system, right? Red Insults. You recruit the one with good uniques.
We'll see. We'll see.
Going down a little bit of a rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
So we did have some league mechanics.
These guys are funny.
Path of Exile 1, 2, Path of Exile 2. You're gonna be
PoE, the devs are like so creative. It's pretty fun.
That we haven't seen before.
I mean, we're definitely going to be.
If you don't move for a sec, Braun will eat and restore his health. Oh, really?
That are just completely different outside of what we've done. Absolutely.
But I have to sit there and wait for him to heal up.
But I mean, I think that like.
Oh yeah, you can just hit the eggs. Oh, okay, good, thanks.
Like as we kind of get past the end of early access and as we're sort of
thanks.
That each time we do something, we're both adding a completely new league mechanic, but also.
Yeah, I got it. I forgot to when I was looking for my drops for PoE, I probably could claim that guy.
Sort of what I imagine, but it kind of really is case by case. Like some things we don't do, in my opinion, can change.
I should though.
Like if someone suggests like a new way to interpret something.
I like the new AOE indicators they made.
Honestly, people assume that we have a full plan.
I like that stuff.
Like, in reality, it's like.
Alright, we gotta finish at this Earth Crawl Mines.
Like what's happening and
we gotta skedaddle.
The plan
there we go. Thank you. Easy as that.
All that stuff is like definitely.
That's funny. Like that stuff's probably supposed to be intuitive, and I'm like, what do I do?
Outsources armies of people kind of working on stuff, and then all the kind of like more incidentally stuff is very much like, oh,
here we go.
What do we do this? And we don't have a, I don't have a plan for the next, 12 strongbox. It's just, come up with an idea and like,
here we go.
How do you feel like some of the ones that were, I felt somewhat definitively Path of Exile 1 in terms of clear space, like.
Come on in here. Ron, where are you taking this guy? Come on.
In a good spot, or were they a good idea to bring over to the game?
Look, I think Breach is, Breach is.
I got no damage right now.
I don't know about, there's probably been some balance changes.
I mean, it was 22.
I see some Season 2 stuff. Yeah, we're not doing much right now. But yeah, I mean, like, vandalizing businesses is lame. Even if Elon is like
there was a little bit of an assumption made, but it was just like
somebody that you don't like what he's doing, and argue. I mean, understandably so. But yeah, like vandalizing businesses is not.
Which, by the way,
not good, I don't think.
just get that out of the way right now.
That's just not a good thing to do.
Distorted the league balance in a way.
Actually, you know what I mean? Even if you're like F that guy.
Yeah, well, 100%. I mean, look, there's a lot
those guys are weird inside. What are you talking about? The people who are vandalizing or Elon? Those guys are also weird and sad.
So, by the way, we aren't releasing them at the end of this.
Elon is also weird and sad.
But they are going to.
Can I make him do something else?
Because like there's a lot of things that needed to get.
Let's talk balance.
Yeah, all right.
My expectations.
Oh, so you don't get to keep your stuff? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, you have to you have to find your own curios. Oh, okay, weird. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if he's not tanking for me, am I gonna die though? It's actually a very likely situation that now I just die.
10,000 things will change this time. 5,000 things will change next time.
Let's see.
Hopefully we can halve it every single time.
If he does good damage, he just mows him down. That'll work too.
Expectation that like nothing they knew about how the game was done before is the same. Forget everything you know. Like, you know, exactly. So
I like how Braun Bronzebeard shows up on
that kind of just
on details.
Like, everyone who's finding builds, like do it again. Like,
when is PoE 2 update drop? On the 4th of April. So next week, next Friday. We're getting there.
So yeah,
attribute stacking.
Pretty cool.
Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. So I mean, it's the hope is though that yes, you're right. It'll.
See, Braun is even shooting those things for me.
It will take
what
time,
a legend.
but we will get to the point where we no longer have things
what a
that
legend. Let's
easy
roll.
To become outrageous.
As attacks, yeah.
Like the idea is like it shouldn't be that you can just.
That's not good behavior.
Combination of supports together, and then like you're just like destroying pinnacles and
not good behavior to be vandalizing stuff. I agree.
Okay, sure.
But they're also doing a whole lot of not good stuff as well. So
but anyway, so
just kind of overall not great situation, but yeah.
Then of course you do get
I think there are better ways of kind of dissenting than vandalizing stuff. I don't think that really has that big of an impact on him. They're trying to like make a difference. I don't think that really does a whole lot.
Or like a common unique, you know.
But yeah, having him just sort of just buy his way into the government and then have a role where he's just sort of dismantling the government definitely is kind of strange. But oh well. Even if that's the case, probably don't need to be vandalizing stuff, right?
So I like the idea instead of focusing.
Or you know, maybe that is the only way that you make a difference. Who knows? But
what are your, like,
my first thought is vandalism is probably not a good idea.
A number.
You know what I mean?
Damage / how fast.
That's my first thought.
Yeah.
Don't do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And then how much.
Wow, that's crazy, bro. MCRN.
And you're like.
Crazy, man.
So it really should be that not killing pinnacle bosses that fast. At the moment.
That's crazy,
like a good sort
bro.
Of benchmark for like just a guy walks in. And,
I bet I'm sure they appreciate your support, bro.
Stupid, but also like not like doing something, you know, like not
crazy.
Cypher you kind of imagine that they should have about 50k.
All right. We're out of here for now, boys. LMAO. True American Patriots. Yeah. I know. All right, guys. We're out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you guys go check out the PoE stream to finish up your drops. I will be back in here in about 4 hours for some evening gaming. I don't know if we're just going to level or what. Maybe try to look for some PvP, because when we level this guy up, we want to make sure we have like a nice full set of honor gear to slap on him instantly. So that'll be the plan. But either way, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing love. We'll see you all a little bit. Peace.
That's been sorted out. Like it's things like that we just